insurance salesmen were pushy. Oh, a fellow chucker, eh? Keep practicing.
All right, this is the Three Ninjas podcast. It's anime analysis by African Americans, comic book commentary by coloreds, movie reviews from me and you, your mama, and your cousin too. As usual, I go by the name of Domino, aka Full Metal Snacker Bitch, aka Womb Raider.
You slammed her, you dunked her donut, you gave her dog a sausage, you stuffed her like a Thanksgiving turkey.
AKA the Bulbasaur Ambassador, AKA Pipple of Use Electro Ball, AKA Clark Kente Cloth, Dreddy Kruger, Optimus Rhyme, Ghost in a Half Shell, Oscar the Gooch, Space Ghostface Killer, Inspector Deku, G.I. Jimbo.
G.I. Jimbo, he's gonna destroy everybody for you and you and you and you.
Akuma Matata, Mansa Mufasa, Tony's little friend, Frank Castlevania, Master Chief Keith, Barry Flanders,
Idly honey.
We must protect this house!
Ninja Scroll and Chill, and R2D2 Chains. And as always, I am joined by
Tess Jones, aka Dr. Duce, aka Han Solo Cup, aka Bruce Banner, aka Full Metal Alcoholic. I gotta have a beer!
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
You gonna make it?
Yeah.
aka Ivan Uzi, Bernie Big Mac.
What the fuck was that?
Tenchi Negro, African Samurai, Mace Wayne Do-Rag.
You know what I got underneath this do-rag?
What you got on the do-rag?
Another do-rag.
Ethan Immunity, Ashton Kutcher, David Cook String, Snack Whiteman, Jason Mosley, and Wesley Blacks.
and also in the motherfucking dojo.
I go by the name of Bobby, aka Darth Hater, aka the Man of Skill, aka the Juggernaut,
Yeah, it's the Juggernaut, bitch!
aka Professor Sex, Mag Negro, Bizarro Rondo, Super Saiyan Brohan, Piccolo Escobar, Bruce May, Cloud Strife, Melanie Manson, Samurai Black, Michael, Get the Strap Son, Red Jacket, Campaign Poppy, Bobby McFly,
What's wrong, McFly? Chicken?
Nicholas Gage, Bastard Troy,
I am the terror that flaps in the night. Oh, no, not here. I am the pestilent blister that bursts in your boot. I am...
and Darkwing Cut. Alright, got it. That shit was coming back. Get to the shirt real quick.
Oh man, my ninjas.
What's up?
What's going on with y'all, man?
Good.
How's life?
Pretty good.
Going on with you, Hesh?
None.
How's your weekend been?
Pretty good. I didn't really do a whole lot. Yesterday was my mom's birthday, so shout out to Mom Dukes.
Happy birthday to Mama Hesh.
Turned 65. She old as shite.
Word.
I had Chick-fil-A for the first time yesterday.
How was it?
It was alright. I didn't even get the crispy chicken shit. I got like a grilled chicken joint.
But did you get the fries?
And the waffle fries, yeah.
Did you get the Polynesian?
Nah, I didn't know.
You
I
get
was
the
supposed to do
Polynesian
that.
sauce?
I didn't know I was supposed to do that.
Gotta get the Pala.
I ain't never been there fofo, but it was mad niggas in there.
Yo,
Like, mad niggas.
It's because it's Sunday and they close the next day, so
Yeah.
it's like, you know, you got to get the shit before it's gone.
Gotta get your fix for it.
You gotta get your fix before, like, oh, y'all niggas gonna close.
But you know, it was
They
pretty good.
homophobic, but they close on Sundays. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Are they homophobic?
I mean,
yeah,
the
the
owner or
like,
something
like
like,
the owner's
like
supposed to be,
donated
like,
some money to like
donated.
anti-gay thumbs or something.
for real?
But maybe
Yeah.
maybe
I
that
still
make
gonna eat it, nigga.
yeah, but maybe the homophobia make the chicken slap.
Listen,
Homophobia chickens.
That make that chicken taste good, nigga. The fucking extra racism on that.
yo, sometimes
The extra
fucked up
discrimination. That's
shit.
it.
Yeah, sometimes good things come from fucked up shit.
That
I'm
fucking
just saying.
discrimination put that zing
Yeah,
on the bitch.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
that's that third flavoring, nigga. You don't know,
Yeah,
like
all kinds of bigotry.
exactly.
And
Fucking
man,
no niggas, and then it was like cooking it delicious.
That's the secret sauce.
You just gotta say it while you're cooking it. No niggas, and then it's like, and then give it like a.
That's the Krabby Patty formula.
they sing, it's raining, man. Hallelujah, it's raining. Yo, got to order on 5. Amen. Bobby, how's your weekend going, man? I ain't fucking with y'all.
You
said it.
Yeah, right? I've been good. You ever have a day where like you just don't want to be bothered?
Every day
in your life.
Every other day, be like, oh.
Every day I breathe oxygen.
It's your birthday? Fuck, man. Leave me alone.
I had one of those days, right?
Mm-hmm.
This shit was like Thursday. So was it Thursday when it was raining like crazy? Whatever day it was raining. I think it was
Wednesday.
Thursday.
Wednesday,
Thursday, right? So I'm at work and I'm like, it's just one of those days.
I'm gonna swing on one of these white people real quick.
So my girl texted me, right? And she was like, what the fuck?
Here come this bitch saying hi.
Telling me she loved me.
It wasn't even that.
I miss y'all. Fuck, I'm gonna see you later.
How dare you care about me, man? No.
It wasn't that. I was already aggravated. So she texted me something about her weight. And she was like, does it look like I lost weight? So I'm thinking, I'm like,
yo, it's not that funny.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I know he ain't, because his brain went to the next level to respond. Because it's probably gonna be like a no, but you gotta like
it
say
wasn't even that. It wasn't even that.
I'm sorry.
It was like, I just said, I don't know. This is the text message, right? She was like, oh, you never know. Now I got upset. So I was like, yo, like nigga, like didn't you ask me this like a month ago? She was like, it doesn't matter. And then now I gotta get him I used to be the gym and shit, so I was like, yo, like it usually takes at least like 2 months for you to notice a difference. And I answered this shit last month. Why are you asking me this now? So now I'm upset. So she called me about some shit. I don't even know. I was just so mad. So I just started yelling and shit. She hung up. And then I just got home. But then you know how people trying to ask you, like, what's wrong with you? I said, it's not you. It's not anything. It's just a day. Like, it's just one of those days. Just leave me alone. Yeah. No, I know it's something. I said, motherfucker, I just told you
what's wrong.
And that will piss you off more when niggas tell you there's a problem when there's not that problem.
Yeah.
Like, yo.
Man.
Like, look, I've told you what the issue was. The issue isn't really nothing, but
it's just one of those days.
Yeah, I'm just not
leave
in
me
a good
alone,
mood.
man.
Yeah, just leave me the fuck alone.
Leave me alone. I got to watch some stand up or some shit. Get this shit out of me. I'm just in a bad mood.
I've had so many bitches do that to me. Where it's like, why you so quiet today? Bitch, I'm chilling. What's wrong? Nothing's
Not
wrong.
really wrong.
You
I'm
keep
just-
asking what's wrong. Now there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Because you keep asking me what's wrong. You what's wrong now?
Man. And then she think I'm lying, and I'm like, yo, nigga, we been together how long? Like, why the fuck I gotta lie to you? Now you get me real upset.
Yeah. That's what you signed up for.
Yeah,
You got a lot of them for life.
You got a lot of them about lying to him.
Yeah, you got a lot of them for like ever. I'm pretty sure like your wife, you can't say, oh, does this make me look fat? You gotta like, yes, it make you look fat, but you gotta like ease into like telling her.
What's fat? Fat's relative, baby.
And then she like, you know what? Sick of your shit.
Like the worst part of some shit like that is that I don't even have a problem with it. She has a problem with it.
Yeah.
And it's aggravating me that she has a problem with it.
Because
Women be caring about shit that we don't
give a fuck
care
about.
about. They be like, yo,
Like,
this extra
God
roll
damn
of
it.
fat, this little extra whatever, like
Didn't even notice it,
you
really.
still
Like, didn't even
getting this dick.
Yeah,
Like,
it
it
didn't
don't
even
matter.
cross my mind.
Yo,
The pussy still work?
Yeah, but
Got you.
as long as the pussy wet, good.
yo, it be girls doing that shit like, yo, they'll look good and then they'll step on the scale like, oh, I'm so fat. I'm like, yo, but how do you feel?
Right.
Do you feel better? It's like, y'all gotta stop stepping on scales and looking at this number to like estimate how you should feel. Like, yo, that number don't mean shit. How do you look in the mirror? When you look in the mirror, how do you think you look? You think you look fat? And go fucking work out then.
Yeah.
If you feel like you need to lose a couple pounds, if you feel like that you need to hit a number, that's the wrong shit. Stop looking at scales. Just work out. Look in the mirror. That's all the fuck you gotta do.
Yeah.
But you can't say that shit to women because women, don't think logically. But that's whatever. So yeah, SoundCloud, iTunes. I'm not getting into no story.
No, you say how was your? I was just gonna say how was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend was cool. Fuck did I do? I bought 2K, and then my Wi-Fi went out.
Oh yeah, it did go out.
And then
Was that nationwide?
It was
it was just Optimum, I think.
It was like Connecticut, Jersey, parts of Jersey, and New York.
Oh,
Yeah, and then I took that as a sign of like God telling me not to play this game, and it was like return it and get your money back and use that $100 for something else.
No double. Damn, $100.
$100.
I bought the Legend Edition with the VC in the pack.
Oh, you a nigga.
This might be my last 2K. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, you was a nigga, nigga.
I love basketball.
I can see, nigga. This nigga said $100. I said, oh,
Yeah. Whoa.
I said, hold up.
Did they change anything?
Yeah, I'm right. The double dribbling it on these niggas.
I mean, they changed from what I see. Everything they changed, I don't like.
No,
So
okay.
what they changed is how you do like crossovers and spin moves and shit like that. Like it's more of like
Using
the
the
left stick
joystick,
now
yeah.
instead of like the right stick.
I don't get that.
I
Like,
mean,
Because they try to make it feel more real. Like, oh, I'm moving, and so the
Yeah.
ball's moving with me, so now I'm spin move.
what was it?
Spin move.
It was the shoulder.
What was that?
That fucking shoulder killed me. Nah, nah, it's basically the same shit. It felt like 2K19 all over again, and they don't really be changing shit. Like I saw on Twitter that they said that they only changed like the sweat and how it falls.
Sweat.
Like, that's basically all that happens. It's like they don't change nothing. They put
sweat.
They put more. They put more celebrities in the game. It feels the same. The neighborhood feels the same. The shit be logging off and lagging sometimes. Like I'll complete a game and then it'll be like, oh, there's a problem with your network. Nah, ain't no problem with my fucking Wi-Fi. Ain't that work on mine? It's your bum ass servers. But you know, like I said, this might be my last 2K, so I think I'm gonna retire after this, and I need to talk to Ronnie 2K because the shit with the hairstyles I was talking about,
Still a problem?
Exact same. Yo, them niggas copy and paste over here what the hairstyles is. They might have added a couple new designs. Like, oh, this player had a good season. They had a faux hawk with some designs, and let me put that in the game. I was like, yo, that don't. Like, half of America don't wear that, bitch. And half of basketball players don't wear that, but...
It's one nigga.
one nigga that is like, oh, I got some money. Let me do something different with my head.
Do some wild shit.
White man can't tell me what to do. I got millions. But I don't know.
With the
man.
spin
That's like
move.
2K in general. That's why I stopped playing WWE because they took shit out and put whack shit in. I was like, yo,
Nah,
Yeah,
but
I ain't playing a wrestling game for mad long until I don't know, maybe like a year.
the Attitude
ago.
one was the last one I played. What
And
was
like-
it, 13 or 14? 13 or 14. That's what I
They
stopped playing
changed
that
the way you like do the moves, and I didn't like it.
shit. Yeah, they did.
It was like weird, like you grab a nigga, but then you gotta like move. Like it was some weird shit. Like because before you used to like you grab a nigga direction with the stick, press the
Yeah.
button, and he'll do the move. It was some other shit. You had to like use the joysticks in certain different way. I was like, yo, I'm not doing this.
Oh,
shit.
see, yeah,
It was some
changed that
weird shit. Yeah, it was like I'm not fucking with this shit. Fuck y'all niggas. Y'all
I
fucked it up.
missed the N64.
Me too.
ones,
That's
man.
the shit I was
Yeah,
looking for.
yeah, yeah.
War zones and the fucking what's the name?
No Mercy.
No
No
mercy,
Mercy?
y'all.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
God.
man.
I almost knocked the nigga out for that no mercy.
Tombstone niggas fucking playing as mankind or just making your own characters run around doing dumb
Stone
shit.
Cold used to fuck niggas. Yo, Mankind, Stone Cold used to fuck niggas up, man.
You need to bring
man.
that shit back.
I miss the good old days. Hopefully.
That for no smoke.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, okay.
yeah, somebody asked us for a no smoke, but y'all niggas don't listen to me. So,
What?
whatever. Now, somebody had put in the YouTube comments like, yo, when y'all get a chance, yo, we need a new no smoke. I was like, all right. And then I asked y'all niggas like 3 weeks ago, so when we do another no smoke? Silence.
Oh.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop talking.
In 2
Maybe
weeks. 2 weeks.
Maybe y'all niggas will take some initiative and do this shit. I'm like, I ain't say shit else in this chat.
In 2 weeks. I had to think of which ones to play.
Yeah, we had a whole list of like 5 games.
Yeah,
It was
I know.
like, yo,
Yeah, I got it.
here.
Oh, that's what I'm missing.
What?
T-Pain.
T-Pain.
Yeah, cosplay.
T-Pain. What? Oh,
cosplaying.
Tekken?
Yeah, Leroy.
Oh, Leroy Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to T-Pain for retweeting my shit. I appreciate you, my nigga.
Yeah.
I created some shit and niggas saw it. Appreciate you, my nigga. Oh yeah, also, well wishes to Kevin Hart, speedy recovery, because that car looked wild.
Story sketchy.
Huh?
Yeah,
Story
I
kinda
was just
sketchy.
listening to the Joe Budden podcast, whatever, yesterday, and it was talking about how there's a lot of details that don't necessarily quite add up.
Yeah.
To
With
about.
the Kevin Hart shit?
Yeah. Like they took him to his house and they
Yeah, he went home first apparently
They
before
didn't
they
even
called
call
the
the police.
ambulance. and
They
then
didn't call
that
the
car is so fucked up. But he's the only one that was hurt, and the 2 other people in the car were not hurt. So what they were basically alluding is that he was in the car either drunk, driving,
Yeah.
crashed the car,
And then
called, went home, had his like so you can sober up a little bit.
But how do you go home with
a broke ass back or
yeah,
something?
yeah.
The
Bodyguard,
bodyguard
right?
came pick him up from the car, put him in the car, took his ass home. Then they called an ambulance.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And they just left him there.
So
Why would
then-
you leave a car like that?
Yeah, especially if I guess that's fucked up. I didn't even see the picture of the car, how fucked up
That
it
shit
is.
is flat.
That like the fucking roof looked mangled,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck. The
Yeah.
car looked destroyed. I was like, it's amazing that anybody made it out that bitch alive. But
Because he was probably drunk, so he didn't brace himself for That's what happens. That's why sometimes drunk people don't get hurt in car accidents because they're so
Yeah.
drunk.
because
they don't tense
feel
up.
shit.
They don't tense up, and that's where they stay loose. And then he's probably so drunk, fucking flew out, did the fucking cartwheel, and was like, "Oh shit, my back broke, but I'm alright."
Yeah,
I
and
mean, but still, the nigga back is broke. He
I
wasn't in a
learned
car
today.
accident. Speedy recovery to him. The details have nothing to do with me. You
Facts,
know,
Kellerman. No, I'm just saying.
however
Yeah.
you live your life. I mean,
it's weird.
I mean, if he was driving, he's drunk, he could have killed somebody.
it's weird because he went on this whole campaign of like, I'm not drinking no more after his last DUI. So it's like for him to go back on his
man.
word like that sounds
if he did
hypocritical
that.
to the public.
I mean,
If
He's done it before. Though.
and
but-
niggas is human.
My rib.
No, but
Alright.
no,
Alright,
but he's in this whole rebranding shit because with the cheating scandal,
ribs
the
in those
DUI
hotels?
scandal, and what'd you say?
None. I said with the ribs in that hotel.
Ribs.
Jesus
ribs.
Christ. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. No, you know, say speedy recovery, Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I was told not to shit on you because I always shit on you, but you know, I don't want to see nobody die. You know,
Facts. Nah,
Yeah.
I'm
I
glad
don't-
he's okay. Obviously.
Yeah, I don't never want to see. I don't like the nigga career, but I never want to see nobody get hurt or die or no shit like that. But speaking of death, rest in peace to Robert Axelrod, who was the voice of Lord Zed
Yeah.
on the Power Rangers. He passed away at the age of 70 something, I believe. So that news just came out. So rest in peace, brother. We was getting the questions, right?
I suppose. I think
We didn't do questions. Okay, yeah. So SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, wherever the fuck you get your podcast, we are there. 3ninjaspodcast@gmail.com. For any comments, questions, or concerns, if you want your question answered in the Ask a Ninja segment, you can reach us there. That's 3ninjaspodcast@gmail.com. Also, you can submit a question on 3ninjaspodcast.com on our, what's the section called? I don't fucking know, but it's the contact. You can just
contact. Yes.
go there and submit a question. Also, shout out to everybody that purchased merch over the Labor Day sale. Appreciate you guys. It's going to be a little while to get the merch. Having a problem with the distributor, but we're going to get the shit right. You're going to get your shit to you. Alex, your order should be on the way this week, I want to say, because you ordered your shit in August, and that's fucked up that you didn't get it yet. That's my fault. I take blame for that, but you should be getting it soon. Let's see. What should I call you? Aquahesh. What question we got today, man?
So this question comes from Uno Cercio.
Unless you want to be Heshika Jones.
No. What?
Well, you are a alcoholic, so.
I'm not an alcoholic. I have a drinking problem.
See,
I know.
you just confused me.
Again.
I don't like to. You try to confuse.
I mean, look. So I enjoy drinking alcohol, but I don't like need it to function. I go many days without a drink.
I am confusion.
Yeah.
So you're not an alcoholic, but you have a drinking problem. You have what the fuck did he say in the chat? What did he say that he had? He said some bullshit. I was like, nigga, so find another vice. Stop fucking drinking. Stop doing some shit that's harming you.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying my relationship with alcohol is healthy,
But
I don't need it to. Like, I don't have to drink. I don't drink every day. I don't drink every day.
I didn't say that.
And
Nah,
I drink like
drink
on
every
the
day
weekends.
is a problem. You wouldn't be on the show. Where it's like,
I don't drink every day.
you ain't drinking like mouthwash and shit.
Yeah, no. See, I ain't doing no shit like that. I don't need to function on the shit like that. But I do enjoy the drink, and when I drink, I do tend to get drunk, typically.
Yeah.
But
So how many days a week do you drink on average, would you
like
say?
one,
Just one?
maybe two. It's usually the weekend. Friday night, maybe. Saturday night, maybe. And then sometimes I don't even really drink. And then even like this Friday, I was like, oh, I want to drink. I started drinking, and I was like, I'm tired. I just went to bed. Like I didn't even like. So I didn't like. So it's not like, oh, I'd rather just stay up and get drunk. I'm not like, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Fuck that. Like I can just not drink if I don't want to. But I like to
Okay,
drink.
so I'm gonna stop fucking with you as much as I do.
I mean, but don't get me wrong. It's not.
That nigga said, look out for me.
It's not
Help
healthy.
me.
It's not 100% healthy,
Right.
but it could be worse. I guess is what I'm saying.
It could always be worse because I see the niggas downtown and I was like, yo,
Yeah, no, I ain't
this
there yet.
cannot be anybody I know.
Yeah, I ain't there yet.
Ain't none of my friends gonna end up like this.
I hope not. I mean, I can't predict the future, but
I can't, nigga. I can't predict the future either. But if I see you, amen. Yo, if you start drinking Natty Ice,
Natty Ice.
if you start drinking Natty Ice, nigga, I swear to God, I'm dragging your big ass to fucking AA myself.
Well, I mean, I've had that ice before.
Shit.
Now I'm talking about like that's all you drink because you ain't got no money.
Oh yeah, no.
That and Cisco.
Yeah, that nigga.
They still make that?
Nigga, if
Yeah,
you
I
want the
seen it.
bum juice,
They make crack liquor still?
I seen
yeah,
it.
they still drink that shit. They still make fucking
yeah.
Four Locos.
Yeah, but that's a different formula now. I don't even think it's the same formula.
Oh, it's a different formula.
Yeah.
Still not trying. Shit almost killed me.
All right, that's a
I got a
story.
bad Four Loco story.
I'm curious.
Oh, you want to listen now?
I mean, a little.
Oh, so I was either early 20s or late teens when Four Loco came out. So I wanted to try because everybody kept talking about it. So I bought 3 Four Locos, and
You fucked up already.
so I bought 3 Four Locos, and what they were saying was like it has liquor in it, but it has like this shit that it's like the
Caffeine,
same.
was it, or the same stuff as in like Red Bull or some
Yeah,
shit
same
like
as
that?
in like Red Bull or Gatorade or some shit like
Something.
that, where it's like
It brings you down and up at the same time.
it brings you like up, but then it was some shit like that. So I'm drinking a Four Loco, so I drink 1 Four Loco. I'm like, yo, I don't feel shit, because usually if I take a drink, I'm drunk by now. If I drink like one of something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I drink 1 Four Loco. Oh, this ain't doing shit, right? So I crack another Four Loco, drink that shit. Oh, this ain't doing nothing. I don't feel shit. This is maybe like 2 hours in, right? So drink the 3rd Four Loco. I get maybe halfway of the Four Loco of the 3rd one. So, what happens? It's just like a weed brownie where everything hits you all at once. So I went from being extra hyper, oh, this ain't doing nothing, to just like zombified. like every, what can I describe it as? When like something just gets instantly blurry, like everything becomes like just whoa. And then
shut down.
Yo, like my whole body, like my phone went from like 100% charged to at least 1. Everything became blurry. I felt like I was dying. I couldn't walk. I could barely speak. And then I got home and I didn't feel right for at least 2 days because I think I almost had alcohol poisoning to the point where it was like, yo, I can't see, my nigga.
Yeah, you almost.
It was like, yo, I'm walking to the wrong car. I'm talking to people that ain't my friends. I'm like, yo, I can't see, my nigga. So I get home and maybe like that whole Sunday, dead, in the bed, didn't eat, just sleeping, trying to sleep this shit off. Monday, half of that day, fucked up, done. Like I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Like I was like fucked up. And then like the end of Monday night where it was like I got up and got something to eat. And like I didn't use the bathroom, nothing. Like I was just dead in the bed. And I was like, yo, I'm never drinking Four Loko again. This is the worst experience I ever had in my life.
Nigga almost seen Jesus.
Nick, I thought, yo, I would have rather died than go through that shit. Like I was like I don't know if anyone's ever felt this type of pain. Where it was like, yo, I would honestly be better dead.
Yeah, no, I've been hungover like that. Like
it was like, yo, I'm never doing this again. But
maybe twice.
I made it through that, and I just looked at Four Loko as like, because everybody got that one liquor that just bring them back to like a bad time. It was like, I'm never drinking this shit again. Like some people it's fucking Goldschlager, some people it's Henny, some people it's like, Dubra, some people it's like some wild shit. But Four Loko for me, nah.
I can't drink Goldschlager.
See,
No, not even because of do that. That shit fucked my throat up.
because it got them gold flakes.
Yeah, because I think I don't know. Every time I drink Goldschlager, like the next day, my throat. Be
You're
like,
not supposed to be drinking gold.
I don't know what to tell you, nigga. But one of my boys was like, "Oh, never mind. I don't even want to talk about that, nigga, because I know who it was."
The rapist?
I mean, yeah.
This nigga hanging out with rapists.
In my defense,
You didn't know.
Hopefully back then he wasn't doing that. But I don't fucking know.
I think I always had that mindset. Deaf to him, but So
anyway, so question.
Hesh.
Yeah.
What question we got, man?
Yo, what the fuck? Anyway,
Yo, I love this show.
Yo.
This show would be so much better if we actually hung out.
I know, right? This is the only time we talk to each other. And this is the shit that happened.
Yo, just to let y'all in on a secret, right? Niggas be like, yo, I wanna hang with y'all. Nigga, we don't hang with us.
The only time we had a full interaction when we was a BlurCon.
BlurCon, that's it.
And that shit was wild. So imagine if we was doing this shit every day.
Other than that, niggas don't call niggas.
Well, we text.
we text, but
We text a lot. Yeah, we do text a lot.
it's not like,
Group chat.
yo, what we doing tonight? It's like, yo, you seen this shit about Spider-Man? Like, nigga, I want to go drink with you. Like, what the
shit.
Hesh be going on. I live like 5 minutes away from that. This nigga don't fucking never text me.
To be fair, I don't text anyone. I don't even talk to like my goddaughters.
Parents?
Yeah. I don't even go.
Well,
see
we
her.
went to
I
some
don't
shit
even go
before.
see her, and she like down the street from me.
Who, me and you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
What the fucking see that MMA fight?
I don't be living in a house.
Yeah, yeah, me and Bobby hang out sometimes, but I gotta hit Bobby up. I was like, yo.
Yeah, I don't be doing nothing.
I be like, yo,
Oh.
tell your girl you going somewhere. Yo, we going out. I was like, yo, I know you like fucking fighting. Like,
I know you like fucking fight.
niggas getting punched in the face. Let's go.
Oh shit, that's all right. Let's try this again. Question.
All right, so question. What we got, Hesh?
This question comes from Uno Sergio. His question goes,
Yo, Bobby, pass me that bottle.
"Hey ninjas."
I just feel it today.
Yep. Hey ninjas, this is Cam. I'm a junior in high school, working for the school news team.
This nigga's at high school.
Yes,
Like,
don't
what?
do that. But thank
Shout
you.
out to you, though. Appreciate you.
Also,
nigga.
thank you.
Oh, fuck.
Love the podcast. You all are an inspiration for what I do. Thank
Really?
you, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
Sorry, I apologize. Researching and presenting school news and current issues. Where do you find your sources / topics, and where can I go to find them? Continue to do what you do. Stay blessed.
Are we giving away the secrets? Well, is it a secret?
I mean,
Not really.
if you're giving away, if you're doing school news, like actual
Yeah.
news stories and
News.
shit.
Yeah.
Wait.
Google, what?
Damn, I wish he would have gave more context. Because is he trying to get school news in general, or just the news we get?
I mean,
Yeah, because he's just said working for the school news team.
mm.
You know, and then in quote.
Oh, so he probably got like a little
Researching.
subject that he wants.
He's like researching and presenting school news and current issues. So the current issues thing is probably close to what we do because we do current. But it's like geek shit, I guess.
Yeah.
He didn't give super details of like what the actual news he's researching.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Because if you want like real news, like what the fuck a tariff is or some shit like
Yeah,
that, you know what I mean? Don't ask me, nigga, because I don't even know. But
You don't know what tariff is?
I mean, I
you
know
know
what tariff. I'm just joking. Yeah.
because we are all over 30, right?
Yeah.
How we used to get our news and our articles and whatever else. We used to go to an actual library.
Yep. Or the papers.
Or, you know, have an encyclopedia. Yo, have you ever owned all the encyclopedias?
I think
My mom did.
I think my parents had the full alphabet. I think. I have no idea what edition those are.
Like we used to, like before all this Google and internet shit,
Yeah.
we used to have to
Y'all
go to
niggas.
actual libraries, check out books, have a fucking library card, all this shit, and then we would have to scan through the book, and then in the paper that you write, you have to cite your sources and all this shit. So you gotta remember the book, the chapter, the fucking page number, and all this shit. But
Yo, I keep forgetting to do that, but it's too much work, so I just don't do it.
No, citing?
I don't
It's citing
give a fuck.
sources.
Citing
'Cause I know
sources.
exactly where I got the shit from, but I just keep forgetting.
Yeah, I mean it's too much. I mean you could just Google. I mean now you guys have Google, so it's like you type in
Google,
the keyword.
Google,
Yeah.
nigga.
But but a lot of shit. If you Google the shit, they'll give you
Yeah, it'll
wrong
pop up.
information. Like people make it a living of writing wrong information about shit. Like they'll tell you some
Facts.
shit about some historical shit, and it'd be historically wrong.
Yeah.
like they'll write some shit just so you could fuck up and like, yo, that didn't happen in 1892. What the fuck you talking about? Christopher Columbus didn't come here till fucking whenever. But how we get our size? It's just like Google.
Twitter.
We get a
Fucked up as it
Twitter.
is.
If you follow certain, because everyone's on Twitter, and if you follow like certain, like not the like the main people, like if you-
Yeah.
like Marvel,
Yeah.
for instance, like
Yeah.
we don't get our information from like Chris Evans and
Yeah.
Robert
Yeah.
Downey Jr. It's like the fucking producer or like the director or like
Yeah.
assistant producer or like the brother of assistant producer. It's like that's where you get a lot of your sources. You just got to know who to follow on Twitter.
Yeah.
Other than that, I get a lot of my shit from IGN.
Yeah, they're
Um,
good.
I do.
Um,
Comicbook.com.
comicbook.com.
Comic book resources, they're good.
I know Bobby likes fandom. I don't
Yeah,
know if you know-
fandom's like the TMZ of this
Yeah,
shit.
if
Yeah,
you like
fandom
everything.
is really good.
Screen Rant is pretty good.
Screen Rant is pretty
Screen Rant
good.
pretty- But sometimes they post some bullshit that one of their writers wrote. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, fuck out of here. What are you talking about?
And even same thing on the Twitter thing. Like, I follow like a lot of people who do like the hosting shit. Like, so like I follow a lot of people who are on like the Collider shows and all
Yeah.
that kind of shit. So I follow them. So they'll post some
Their
news and some
podcast
shit.
is weird.
I don't really watch the podcast, but I used to watch the movie talk and then the Jedi Council from time to time.
Yeah.
Some of the Screen Junkies people I'll follow.
Yeah.
You know, for some movie news and stuff like that, where stuff pops up.
Did I find out about Danny Fernandez from Hesh?
Yeah.
You disappointed me.
Why?
I got her on the phone and you ain't say shit.
My bad. I didn't know. I was listening intently.
Like, I knew nothing about this chick, and I found out about her from Hesh. I'm like, oh, Hesh got something. He been following her for a while. Silence.
I mean,
the sounds of silence.
Like, you know we have a podcast, so I'm like...
You know what?
You know the funny shit? No,
Yeah, whatever.
like, I introduced, like, all right, 3 Ninjas Podcast, Domino, Hesh, Jones, Bobby, and it's just me talking. And we like, yo, it's two other niggas here. Like, I don't hear their voice.
Hit me with that. I was about to say something about the thick ass thighs. You said, you was like, nope, don't do it.
Well, and here's the thing.
Thick ass thighs.
No, when Danny was talking about she used to get bullied for a thick thigh, I was like, what?
Like, no,
I said you did not say
Nah,
that.
you said. Because you thought I was going to say something wild.
I mean,
she wild, but it's like,
Yeah.
I don't, honestly,
I was gonna say something
I don't remember that
well,
shit.
the funny thing about that too, a little bit, is like, I don't know the questions you're gonna ask, so a lot of times you'll end up asking something that I was gonna ask, and then it's like, oh, I was gonna ask that, but you already asked it, so it's like,
I mean,
well,
but you
what
can
I'm saying?
interject. Be like, I got a question, didn't it? I got a question, Larry Kennedy. I got a question, Chris.
And then you're like, and then I feel like you in like a flow that I don't want to be like fucking up your flow, so I kind of be like just chilling because I don't want to like interrupt, like, or like if you have things set a certain way that you want to answer them a certain way, so I don't want to like interject and say something that you want to ask right, as soon as you want to ask it or not.
See, let me tell you something about what the shit I do, right? If you were to take a look at my notes, there's no flow to anything. So what I do is whatever come to my head, I write it down, and it's not in sequence at all. It's just like, all right, she mentioned this. Let me scroll down to this part of the page. Like, I know I wrote some shit about that. Like, oh, let me go back to the top. Oh, look at the middle. Oh, boom, she said something about that. It's like, okay, I knew I wrote something about that. It's like none of this shit is. It could go from like, so how'd you get started to like, so I heard you was dating somebody. Like, it just never in sequence, nigga.
Okay.
But
Nah, but like,
Cercio, we trying to help you. I'm sorry.
I was about to say something
Cicero.
crazy. I was about to
Is
say
it Cicero?
something.
No, it's not Cersei.
I don't know.
Cicero.
Cersei?
I can't spell.
I don't know, nigga. I don't know English.
Yeah.
I had to take a look at a book, nigga. Read the rainbow.
Librarian.
I swear to God,
Liberian.
Yeah.
it's not the same thing.
No,
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 not.
no.
It's the same thing.
No.
Just because
But
y'all niggas don't know English.
yeah, that's most of the places that we get our news from when it comes to like, I guess, pop culture and like entertainment.
Google is your friend.
Yeah, Google is your friend, but keep in mind that Google has a lot of information, and if you were to Google something, I would check at least 3 times with 3 different sources, because Google has the internet has a tendency to be wrong, because a lot of times you'll Google some shit and it just be a rumor, but if someone good has confirmed it, if someone reputable has confirmed it, I would say go with that. But if you just heard some shit on Twitter, it was like, yo, somebody got a fan theory, like, nah, don't, run with that shit. Like, just learn to check twice or 3 times, your sources before you actually write anything or print anything or believe anything. So,
especially if you're doing like stuff for like school and stuff. Like for us here, it's not that big of a deal. We just saying dumb shit and we just say what the fuck we want to say.
And then niggas correct us. Terrence corrects us on everything.
I mean, all the time.
And I love you for that.
I mean, I'm gonna have to fight Terrence one day, but I'm not gonna. I love that nigga, but he's be like, I'm not that crazy. Just stop trying to tell me I'm crazy.
Nah, it's a running joke.
No, like Hesh, stop. I'm like, I ain't do nothing. I mean, I did, but
you did.
You ain't supposed to point it out all the time.
Stop pointing out my flaws.
Exactly. Stop telling me I'm wrong when I'm wrong.
But
stop being a good person.
Yeah. So thank you, Uno. Appreciate you, my nigga.
Oh shit.
Keep going to school. Don't quit. High school is good for you.
Yeah. School's good.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Occasionally, yeah. So what's the next question we got, Hesh?
So that's next. No.
You gotta play the song again? You gotta cue that shit up?
No. I'm good. It's not that. It's because I be fighting my brain to not do certain things sometimes. And then I just... Anyway, so this question comes from Malik the Villain. If you had to recast Avengers with actors from the 90s, who would you choose? What are you doing?
Nah, I thought I had some shit on my computer, and I don't. I think I erased it, but go ahead. Don't look at my computer.
I'm not. I'm just waiting to see what's happening.
Oh.
The Avengers. All right, how many Avengers is it?
I mean, he put all of them. I don't think we
you can
necessarily have to
still
do
put-
all of them, but
Yeah, you
we
can still
just-
put Robert Downey in there because he was
But who? Okay,
doing
yeah.
shit in the 90s.
So he wants to know who would you choose and who they play.
That's in the talk.
I didn't say it. I was, I behaved it myself. It's just that name conjures up me wanting to say jokes,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't. I was good.
Okay.
So, who would be the '90s cast of
Did y'all hear his
the
freestyle?
Avengers? Who? Will Smith?
Nah.
Who? Malik Yobus?
Oh no.
Yo,
No.
I saw that shit.
No.
Laughs for like a cool 3 minutes because Fonte put not like this, man. And I heard that shit in my head. Yo, crying, laughing, like holding stomach, laughing, yo. Crying, my nigga. Yeah, so also just so you know, that Malik Yoba story came out last episode in the middle of the episode. So if you were wondering what we cut out with that bleep, that was well, we all deemed it too wild to put in the episode. So that's a Patreon exclusive. Only way you can see that is if you're signed up for our Patreon. That's Hesh is dying.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/3 Ninjas Podcast is for any tier. So long as you sign up and submit your payment, you can watch that.
Was it like a
What
15-minute, 20-minute combo or something like that?
Nah, Bobby only gave me like 5 minutes of this shit.
Oh, was it? I thought it was longer than that.
It was longer than that, but Bobby gave me like a little grace period, like the Malik Yoba shit.
Okay.
Oh, that was how long it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was long. I thought we talked about that shit way longer.
Oh no. It
Nah,
felt like it was
just
longer.
felt like because you was wilding.
I'm sorry. Anyway, so who we cast as the Avengers from the 90s?
I don't know.
Dope. Niggas hit the harmonics. Nigga.
But I mean, when I seen one online that they did a,
Yeah, me
a
too.
while
It
ago.
was like Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy as like a War Machine or some shit like that.
War Machine. No,
Oh, was it? No.
Eddie Murphy was Falcon.
Oh, Falcon. There we go.
Yeah.
And it seemed pretty accurate as to who I would cast because when it comes to 90 motherfuckers, I don't know a lot of
Me
them.
neither.
Like if I'm thinking of
Yeah.
them, like the 90s was mad long ago.
My brain don't work no more. It never did, bro.
According to let's see, whatever, I don't know
Oh, here
where
we
this
go,
is
here
from.
we go,
So
here
made in
we
the
go.
90s, they said Captain America would be Brad Pitt,
Yeah.
the Winter
I'm
Soldier
with
would be
that.
John Stamos, Eddie Murphy as Falcon, Scarlet Witch as Alicia Silverstone,
I'm with it.
Hawkeye as Christian Slater, Ant-Man would be Matthew Broderick,
Yeah.
Iron
Fuck
Man
with
be
it.
Tom Cruise.
Yep.
I fuck with it.
Yo, it was a picture that Marvel did like a while back before the Iron Man movies. That shit looks exactly
yeah.
like Tom Cruise.
They said Spider-Man is Leonardo DiCaprio, Black Widow is Mila Djokovic, Denzel is Black Panther, Vision is Ethan Hawke.
I'm with
that.
Wesley Snipes is Black Panther. I don't know.
I can cast him. I mean,
But Denzel, but you talking about in the 90s, Denzel
what about
was
Wesley
the
as
king.
Black Panther? How about that?
Yeah, but Wesley was doing his thing in the 90s. That
Yeah.
Passenger 57, man.
Nigga, Wesley's black.
Demolition Man.
I mean, but Denzel.
Yeah.
You like
but-
you seen that tear drop in Glory, nigga?
Okay, what other black Marvel superhero
That's what I was-
can Denzel
yeah.
be besides War Machine and fucking Falcon?
Yeah, or Black Panther.
I would want
He could be,
Killmonger.
or he could be a young Miles Morales who doesn't exist.
That'd be Killmonger.
Denzel.
Yeah, not no damn Avenger.
Yeah, I would
Wouldn't
want.
you rather have Wesley be fucking Killmonger, like
Nah.
angry black militant?
Now I would want Wesley as Black Panther, and I would want as Killmonger. If we going with the whole 8-man shit, who would fuck with?
Bokeem Woodbine.
Nah, but
Nah.
we do
Morris
yo,
Chestnut.
We do need.
Morris Chestnut.
You know what?
Take dicks.
I'm not mad at Morris Chestnut as fucking Killmonger in the 90s. Let's see. War Machine would be Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cuba.
Thor would be Drago. Hulk would be David Duchovny. Doctor Strange was Keanu Reeves. Nick Fury is Keith David. Loki is Gary Oldman. Thanos is Ron Perlman. Star-Lord is Brendan Fraser. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Gamora would be Halle Berry. I like that.
Yeah.
Nebula would be Demi Moore.
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon would be Joe Pesci. Drax would be Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Winona Ryder would be Mantis. The only one I'm really not feeling is Falcon and Black Panther.
Yeah.
So who would be Falcon and who would be Panther?
Somebody from the 90s, black actor from the 90s, prominent black actor from the 90s.
Prominent? Damn.
Because Eddie Murphy, when I see Eddie Murphy in the 90s, I don't think serious actor. I think, comical, funny, Axel Foley type shit. I mean, he got the soldier shit down. You can, jump over shit, Axel Foley shit. But Falcon?
I'd rather Eddie Murphy be Rocket Raccoon.
Nah, but Joe,
he can't be that Raccoon.
We gotta have Joe Pesci.
Hey, you gonna sell me that arm? You wouldn't think that was funny?
No, I want it. I want it now.
I can't.
Hey man, don't sell me that arm.
Hey man,
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hey man, I don't think you want to go over there. Thanos flying and shit.
Yeah. Y'all niggas is dumb, yo.
Yo, I want it. I want it.
Damn.
I don't want to go over there, man. This nigga Thanos over here wilding, man. Yo, he threw a fucking planet at that man. Oh, fuck. I forgot what I was about to Google. 90s black actors. Oh, fuck. That was funny. I want Rocket Raccoon. Yo, I want Eddie Murphy as Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Where's Falcon?
Yeah. Will Smith.
Oh, I forgot about William.
Damn.
Will Smith is Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
right.
Independence Day? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Who else was I looking at? Black Panther. I said I wanted Wesley. Falcon, Will Smith, Cuba Good. No,
Too many War Machines.
War Machine.
Cuba? You said Cuba as War Machine?
No, yeah. Ooh, Omar Epps.
Oh, in too deep like Mekhi Phife?
Omar, no, yeah, but that wasn't Mekhi Phife. Omar Epps is War Machine. I think I want it. Yeah, I think, yeah.
Who let him do that, yo?
Everybody in the studio that just as dumb as high as him.
Oh.
In too deep
Deep
like
like
Mekhi
Phife.
Phife. Wasn't Mekhi Phife, nigga.
I think. Would that be good? Lawrence Fishburne as Nick Fury?
Nick Fury.
I mean, what, we getting like School Days, or fucking Boys in the Hood, Lawrence Fishburne? Yeah, he's mad militant and strong presence. I fucked with it.
Think the Morpheus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Cool T. Let me see.
Can Denzel be Nick Fury?
Why not?
He's mad young though. He was mad young.
It was all young in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, it's a 90s cast, so
I know.
I'm just picking.
Trying to find somebody old who's young, who's
No, Lawrence Fishburne
Morgan
was like in
Freeman.
his 40s, right?
Nah, Morgan. No, my nigga.
Morgan Freeman.
Freeman.
It's before never mind.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman could be fucking Galactus or something. Settle
I'm
down now. I'm a eat your
Smoke
planet
crack,
now.
don't you?
I'm
Smoke
a
crack.
fucking eat your planet now. Stop all that yelling. It's gonna happen. Yeah, I think Will Smith is Falcon. Wesley is as a Black Panther, and Boris Chestnut as no. Who the fuck did we say as War Machine?
Cuba.
Yeah, but we was gonna replace Cuba with somebody. Yeah, Will Smith is Falcon.
Wilson's Falcon.
Black Panther is Wesley.
Wesley.
Who the fuck is War Machine?
Oh,
Morris Chestnut.
Jamie Foxx?
Morris Chestnut.
No, Morris Chestnut is
Killmonger.
Killmonger.
Oh, so we gotta get a War Machine then.
We just said the shit. Yeah, we dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
Facts, Kevin. I don't know. Y'all listen back.
Yeah,
Y'all
listen
tell
back, man. Y'all know.
We thought about it.
Yeah, man. All right. All right. So who sent that question in?
That was from Malik the villain.
Malik the villain. Shout out to Malik, man.
Oh, that's what.
Yes.
Shut up.
I know.
Yeah.
I told you that's why I was fighting myself, nigga. Like, just trying to behave.
Hard time for you right now, Malik. All Maliks in the world.
Again, I'm gonna just shut the fuck
Shut
up.
the fuck up, Hesh.
I told myself to shut up. You don't gotta tell me to do it. I did it.
All right, so on to please. So on to reviews, right? So we doing Titans or we doing Power first?
I guess we could do Titans first because there ain't that shit really happening to Titans.
Yeah, that shit was the season finale. The last one.
Yeah,
But actually, literally, it was.
Yeah.
yeah.
It literally was the last. It was like the season finale, season 1. They just for whatever reason decided to cut it where they cut it, and then the only thing that's actually new
Leaving
shot
suspense,
footage.
duh.
No, I guess the only thing that was really new shot footage was like maybe like the
Bruce
last, like the last 10 minutes of the episode.
Yeah, it was like everybody saying bye, and then they go to San Francisco. So,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm gonna put that before the Wii U.
Yeah.
So,
Pull over.
So Titans starts off this season where it left off in the first season, where what's his face? Trigon is here and he's taking over everybody, and he's trying to get Raven to join his
Join the force.
task for world domination or whatever. And he's slowly taking over everyone's minds. And what happens is Wonder Girl, Hawk and Dove, and Jason Todd Robin, they all go to the house, and they eventually go into the house, and then they get taken over. So now it's Beast Boy and Raven versus everybody. And then they whoop Beast Boy ass
Breaks off that night.
to a pulp. And then Trigon takes out Raven's heart.
Yeah.
She dies for a little bit, and then he turns it into a crystal, shoves it into her head. And then she rises up, and then she's taken over for a little while, and then she comes to because I guess
Beast Boy's still because she basically
she's
trying to
stronger
break.
than Trigon.
Well, because she probably always was because he was trying to break her heart. That's why he was trying whatever
Yeah.
trying to get them to kill Beast Boy in front of her to make her sad, break her heart, whatever, so he could take over. And then, but Beast Boy transformed, I guess, at the last second, so he didn't die. So he has a new transformation. He turns to a snake because before I thought he could only do the tiger.
Yeah.
But now he can do the tiger snake, I guess. So a kung fu master or something shit. I don't know. Maybe tiger snake. That's kind of racist. 'Cause I think that nigga is Asian too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little racist. Anyway.
Where's my shit? I deleted it. Keep going.
So he turned into a snake. So he didn't die. So he came back, and I guess him, because they have a connection, he was able to like snap her out of it.
Yeah.
And then once he snapped her out of it, she snapped Dick out of it.
No,
Anyway,
it's okay, keep going.
yeah, so she snapped a Nightwing out of the trance. But what I don't understand, they didn't really explain is why was it so important for her to snap Nightwing out of the trance?
Because he's the leader, so it's
But
like if
he didn't do a damn thing.
yeah, but
Yeah,
she's
he really
more
did.
connected to him than anybody else because Starfire was trying to kill her. She don't know
That's fine.
Wonder Girl, Hawk and Dove, and the other people. So it's like I was meant to find him. I had a dream about him. So it's like,
But why?
I don't know why.
What did he do?
Right.
What did he do?
What did he help facilitate that she needed him to help at the end after she came
Listen,
back?
I don't
she
know.
walked outside and said, whoa, and then
it's-
sent the nigga back home.
To me, it's better to have someone else on my side that's not injured than to have an injured Beast Boy and nobody else. So it's like I'm gonna turn as many people as I can. So Robin's the closest one. I have more of a connection with him. I can actually turn him. So I got my best bet with him because I don't have a personal connection with anyone else.
I guess, but he didn't do anything.
I didn't need him to do anything. I just needed him to be on my side and to know that he wasn't in the fucking dark realm.
I guess. So she broke the nigga free of the trance. And she was like, all right, hold up. I gotta go talk to my dad. I gotta handle some bites. And this went outside and said, poof, turn the nigga to dust. And he sent him back to the dimension. And basically that's it. That's like the whole episode, just them turning, like showing them their moments that made them turn to the dark, whatever, like engage into their deeper, darker impulses. And then
So Starfire completed her mission
by killing her.
Essentially, she killed Raven in her dream. Wonder Girl
killed the dude that killed her father.
that killed her father. Dick Grayson, he killed Batman.
That happened in the last season.
Jason Todd.
Jason Todd
killed Dick
Jason
Grayson.
Todd killed Dick Grayson.
Shot
Shot him in the head
forehead.
with the gun that killed
Bruce's
Batman's parents.
yeah.
Now, how did Batman get that gun?
I mean,
He stole it from an evidence locker.
It depends on it depends on the version of
Yeah.
events of happened. So maybe the shooter shot his parents, left the gun there, and he fucking Batman. He broke in his shit, and took his shit, nigga. Or maybe in this version, he knows who actually killed his parents. I have no idea.
So has Batman killed Joe Cool yet?
I mean, it depends on the version, right?
Because I would think that if you have a gun in a glass case, you took some fingerprints off it. You know who did it, so you.
If their fingers ain't in the system.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this.
They never been caught for.
I'm pretty sure that's not the first motherfuckers he shot.
Shoot
Could
a new
be.
gun, nigga. I don't know, nigga. I don't know.
But
Don't be using logic for shit when they
I
don't need
know,
logic,
right?
nigga.
Yeah,
like the fuck.
yeah, because when we talk about power in a couple seconds, no.
Hey, Milo. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically so yeah, she was like cool. So now she got the little diamond in the head. That's just cool beans and shit. They saved the day, and then at the end of the episode, there's like Dick goes to talk to Bruce.
Yeah.
Jorah Mormont cannot do an American accent. It's very weird sounding hearing him talk.
Yeah.
It's a little off.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can-
when
you
that
can still hear
nigga
it.
popped up on screen, I said, "Oh, this Alfred head ass nigga." I was like,
Oh, 'cause he
that's
do
the
like
bat."
Yeah.
But whatever. I was like, all right, you can play Bruce. I forgot. I forgot all about that shit.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Game of Thrones is over.
So and he seemed mad, like I don't know, too nice to be
Yeah,
Batman. I
too
swear,
nice.
I feel like that nigga was too nice to be Batman.
Yeah.
I
He seemed
mean,
mad cordial and
he
shit.
seemed older.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a way
but,
older,
you know,
but yeah, like a
older
little,
Dick Grayson. So obviously, you
Yeah, it
know,
makes
as the
sense,
child
yeah.
ages, you age.
Yeah,
so it's
true.
like Dick Grayson's a grown ass man. So obviously, you're not as spry
yeah.
as you once were, but you're still a bat
Yeah.
at some point. But
So basically,
Whatever.
he talks to Bruce. Bruce is like, he's like, okay, look, I'm thinking about restarting the Titans again. He's like, oh, you're going to go back to San Francisco? He's like, I got you under one condition, and then the condition is obviously he takes Jason Todd underneath his wing. So Jason Todd obviously gonna be a bigger part of the season, and then they in Titans Tower, and it basically ends with Deathstroke showing up.
yeah,
He's mad. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with the nigga. He was in the mirror just squeezing
Well,
the shit.
I think because
he got rage issues.
if it follows the comics, I forgot what the fuck it was. The Teen Titans did something to him.
Something.
they didn't even tell
in
what
the
they did to him yet.
Well,
Yeah,
I think in like the original run, like was it his son was some? They did some shit
Something
to
like
like
that.
his son, and I know those characters like Ravager, like his daughter showing up, and then his son is was Jericho, I think it is. They're showing up in the season, so it makes sense. Maybe it has some shit to do with that. But when he saw that Jason Todd was there, like, oh, the Titans is back, that made him.
Back,
I guess he was in retirement. He was
Yeah.
like being in retirement, just living in the woods. He just happened to be in a convenience store buying his supplies and happens to see them niggas on TV, you know, plot convenience. And he's like, oh, well, I guess I'm about to be back killing niggas. So we'll figure out what the fuck Deathstroke's whole issue is. But that's basically it. It's fucking them
Suit look ill though.
90. Yeah, the suit do look good. It's like 90% dream shit of them just like, oh, we turned to the dark.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, my dad. Then it's like, poof, smoke. Oh,
Right.
hey, Batman. He's like, what's up, dog? He's like, yeah, I need a tower. He's like, got you, dog.
Got you, dog.
And that's how it is.
So now they're in San
San
Francisco
Francisco
in
and
the
the Titans Tower.
Titans Tower, quote unquote.
Yeah, so
it just
it's-
looks like a regular apartment building that they just have a floor on.
Oh, Raven has a new look. She looks more
Yeah.
like the comic book version of her. Her
Yeah.
hair got more blue in it and
And she has a jewel in her
the
head.
jewel on her
Yeah.
forehead. And I
So-
think she got paler. I think they made it a little paler.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is it
No, I'm
possible-
dead ass. No, I'm
But
like,
is it possible to get any more pale? That's my whole thing.
yeah, we're not gonna talk about white people like that. yo.
You right.
Okay, but she's like pale blue, like because in the comic books, Raven has a different sort of skin hue.
Yeah.
It's not just white hue; it's like a bluish,
Got you.
purple, like color of a mountain. I don't know, nigga. Look, yes,
Okay.
yeah. But anyway, it was good. I enjoyed it, but they didn't really do shit. It was like,
Yeah.
you could have saved this for. You should have just made this the finale,
Yeah.
and then started a whole new. But whatever. I think they did it on purpose to like, oh, this is the new version of the show. This is like how the show's gonna be going forward. It's gonna be different than what it started out as, I think. But we'll see.
Okay. All right. So on to another review. Power.
They say this is a big rich town.
See, niggas changed it back, right?
Oh goddamn time.
I just come from.
Yo, I watched that episode in pure glee. From the beginning, I was like, oh, y'all niggas listen to the internet.
Shit.
Yeah, I kind of appreciate the internet for shit like this, where it's like,
I just happen to
you know, our voices are heard somewhere. It was like, if it's a lot of us, you know, we can make some change happen, but you know, it is what it is. So we got the original intro back thanks to the internet. And so episode 3 of the last season of Power. What the fuck is going on, man?
A bunch of bullshit.
So
Shooting.
whole lot of shooting, whole lot of capping. So episode starts with what's homie name? Donovan.
Rotisserie chicken.
What? Rotisserie chicken.
Why is the black name named Rotisserie Chicken.
I don't know how to say nigga real name.
Right,
I was talking about Donovan,
Oh, okay.
the black cop.
Oh, okay.
So, black cop is in the warehouse talking to his other officers. Hey, we need to get Dre out of here. I want you on the roof. I want you here. I want you there. Then Dre is in the room with his baby crying. And he comes in the room and says, I can't get her to stop crying. I was like, nah, you holding her wrong. Now, that baby look at least 2. So,
Yeah.
to me, there's no real wrong way to hold. Unless you hanging her like upside down by like 1 foot.
Yeah.
There's no wrong way to hold a 2-year-old where it's like, okay, I got her in my arm, boom, she here. How the fuck is he holding a 2-year-old wrong? So Donovan takes the baby, he talks to Dre, and all of a sudden some hitmen come to the hideout that Dre is at and wanted to kill him, and they wind up killing every fucking officer in that joint.
Yeah.
And then Donovan kills the last one, but he got shot in the process trying to protect Dre's daughter. And then another thing that I don't understand, which is going to perplex me to no end, is he shoots Donovan.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Because he's gonna run.
But
I mean, that's why. Because he was gonna run, and he just happened to get caught, or they caught him. But he was gonna kill him. Use the shootout as a like cover. Like, oh, he's dead. No one's gonna act, at least to give himself a window. Because like if he left him alive, he'd have called it in. Like, oh, that nigga ran. And I mean, he got caught anyway. But at least this way, he would have had a window of trying to get away. Where the fuck would he have gone? Who knows?
So
It's
you
the
running
feds.
away.
Yeah.
Is going to protect you where they already knew where because he was in Missouri.
Yeah.
So they found a hideout in Missouri. So you're going to run and expect not to get caught again?
He was in Missouri? I thought he was in New York still. No, he's still in New York.
Why'd they mention Missouri? They
That's
said
where he's going to send him to.
Oh,
They're
that's-
going to
That's where
send him to
send
Missouri.
them to. Oh,
He's going to
okay.
send you to bumblefuck somewhere so he couldn't find you. He was still in New York because he had to testify.
Okay.
That's why. He was still in New York when they found the nigga.
Hmm.
So he could have, that's why he's trying to run. But I don't know why he had to kill him. And then nigga say your daughter, nigga. Damn. Like,
Yeah,
I,
like,
I
and then-
just hate when they set up these plot devices that they're probably not going to use. They're probably not going to use that shit.
They're not. Like, it's like, so you kill Donovan, you leave him there, like, oh, so he is a casualty of the shootout. Now Dre's on the run. So they catch Dre in the fucking subway station or some shit.
train station. some
Train
shit like
station,
that,
and
yeah.
then he gets caught and then has to go
Back to protective custody.
Go back to protective custody to fucking snitch on what's her face anyway, Alicia.
Yeah.
So let's see, people trying to kill Dre and he gets away and gets caught eventually. Tommy is teaching Keisha the dope game.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's gonna come to bite him in the ass.
Oh, doctor,
Sooner or
isn't
later.
it? Isn't it?
Tate is still old dog. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Smacking
So-
cheeks and shit.
So he knocked.
Oh, yeah.
he punched white boy in the face,
Yeah,
right?
this
And
episode,
then
yeah.
next episode went to go fuck white boy girlfriend.
Oh, that's his girlfriend?
Yeah.
I
That was his girl. And then, remember when she was talking
Oh,
about,
yeah,
his
yeah.
campaign is way bigger than yours. Like,
way bigger than yours.
So yeah, he was in there clapping cheeks on the phone or whatever. Then he goes to his I guess his base of operations, and then he walks in, gives a little speech, and then someone else comes in. Some lady comes in from DC and starts firing all of his employees on his campaign.
I guess his campaign's picking up steam, so they sent somebody to help him like really get this push going. So who's like does campaigns like that for big deals. So she's like, "Oh, you niggas ain't important. You gotta go. We gotta do some real shit now."
Yeah. Yo, you don't remember when the white boy asked his girl like, "Yo, how was yoga?" He's like, "Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
Got a good stretch out."
Ah.
Yeah, he's tearing that ass up. nigga. I mean, it wasn't an old boy in Insecure, but it was cool.
Oh, I forgot.
What, the side fucking?
Nah, fucking the chick that he, Lawrence was.
No, the dick was in with Lawrence. I don't give a fuck what nobody said.
That chick that he met when
Yo,
she went to work the
old dog,
bank
it
teller or
looked like,
something.
okay, yeah, I can kind of tell this is
Yeah.
fake.
Fake, that nigga
Lawrence was fucking,
fucking
and
her.
he happened to catch it. It was like, oh,
Oh shit, this is what we doing?
oh, y'all caught cut already? Oh shit, my bad. Tasha is about to start cleaning money again, and she about to use her mama house for babysitting, or she about to find like a little a building to do this shit.
I don't know if she's planning on cleaning money. She just needs money because
Needs
she
her
doesn't have
own
a job.
income?
Yes, I think her idea was just because her mom was babysitting. So I'm gonna just babysit. We make it legal, get a bunch of kids, and make money so I can do it in a bigger scale. You know, more than one kid, so I can make money so I can actually like pay my bills and shit.
Yeah.
I don't think she was gonna try to launder money through nothing. I could be wrong. Don't get me. You know, I don't know. Tasha. She got no reason to do it. She ain't in the drug game like that.
I mean, but she needs to be because she was relying only on Ghost, and once that line is cut, it's like, what do you do?
He still gotta give her money for the kid.
Yeah.
So she still makes some money that.
Don't, but he should.
No, they got like a little kid. So I mean,
I think that's why they moved in that bullshit apartment because Ghost ain't giving her that much money. He giving her enough to live, but it's not like enough to take care of her. Like how they used to live. Because you know when you get a divorce, you like they do that whole shit where it's like,
how much is it worth just to take care of the kid? Like,
not even take care of the kid. It's like because she's come accustomed to this lifestyle, she has to continue to live that lifestyle type of shit. So you got to give her that much.
Yeah.
But because of the fucking prenup she signed, she can't get none of that shit, which is dope.
We won't prenup. Yeah.
Tariq is flourishing.
Yeah.
He making money hand over fist, but then he ran out of drugs.
He's low on
and I thought he was getting his drugs from Tommy, but it was Kana.
Yeah,
I think Kana gave him I think he gave him that back. He just had the whole thing, so he just was selling them slowly because only 2 niggas selling for him. But they went through that shit quick.
Yeah,
I like how his girl was gonna snitch on him, and then all of a sudden now she just in the drug game heavy.
Nigga, that's how it go on Power.
I get
it's like, yo, I'm gonna snitch on you. You can't
be the only, work for me.
You can't be the only black kid fucking it up for the rest of us. It was like
she seemed mad pro. Like,
why don't you get down with me? Okay, I think about it.
Okay. Oh yeah, I do.
Fucking bitch.
But anyway, he flourishing.
Then he flourishing, and then at some point, Jason, the Russian guy, wants Tommy and Ghost to not only work together but break Alicia Jimenez out of jail.
Yeah.
No, he didn't ask him to work together.
No, he didn't ask them to work together, but he asked them to do the exact same job, hoping that one of them would kill the other or some shit. I don't know what he planned on doing, but it's the fact that he sent them both on the same job. And Ghost gets a costume and he's a fucking electrical elevator dude. And Tommy goes beyond that and gets a fucking ambulance.
He EMT, nigga. They had a plan. Tommy had a well executed plan.
Where the fuck do you get an ambulance?
And nigga, it's Power.
You right. Never mind. So one of the bailiffs in the courtroom or security guards in the courtroom gives Alicia some water and it has some shit in it and it makes her go to the bathroom, will throw up, and then she goes to the bathroom and then
drugged her with Molly or some shit.
That whole damn thing was like a convenience.
Dog, it don't make sense how
with Lala in the out of service bathroom. You just looked under. You didn't push the shit open.
Yeah, like who the fuck is in here? Like,
what kind of security y'all got? I don't know.
And then,
whatever.
In the courthouse with a known cartel person.
Right?
The mere fact that nobody got in the ambulance with her was like, yo, you need a
nobody
police
went to
escort.
The bathroom with her?
Nobody went to the bathroom with her. Just let her in there. I mean, it's a woman's bathroom, so men can't go in there.
Ain't no other fucking women officers in the whole of New York?
This is Power.
You're right.
So,
excuse me, I apologize.
She go in there, she throws up, passes out. The AMT comes, and it happens to be two of Tommy's flunkies. So they pick her up, they put her on the gurney, they get her downstairs. She goes into the ambulance.
They didn't follow the ambulance.
Dog, the fucking dude cut her off.
Blocked it, but even that was kind of.
But it's like, okay, you can only block them both for so long. It's like, sorry guys.
Yeah.
When do you move? Like, do you not move for like 10 minutes? Like, what?
Yeah.
What happens?
The clutch.
The clutch. Something wrong with the alternator.
Oh, my keys. You just started it. All right.
Like, it don't. This is Power. So that happens, and now the cop gets in the ambulance to follow this drug cartel member in the ambulance, and then Tommy just takes her to Jason. So Alicia's in front of Jason all groggy and shit, and Jason says like, yo, I need this, that, and a third. If you don't give me this, I'm blowing your fucking head off. Alicia, the real bitch she is, says, yo, you gotta smoke? I ain't telling you fuck ass niggas nothing. Kiss my ass, suck my dick, blow. Kills her. 2 shots. Shot in the chin. How you shoot somebody in the chin?
Damn.
Fucked up.
Hit on the chin, nigga.
But yeah, smoke coming out your chin. That was kind of dope. But then Tommy's like, yo, why would you have me bring her here just to kill her? He's like, yo, I want to kill her myself. And then I guess now that Alicia is dead, that's going to present a whole new set of problems where it's like, all right, so we let this drug cartel member out of custody into an ambulance. Now she's missing. Then she winds up dead. So it's like, what happens after that?
That's if they even care about that. That might just be them closing up a plot line. That might not even matter. The only reason why it matters is now because Dre was supposed to snitch on her. She's dead. So now Sax is using the fact that she's dead against Dre. Like, oh, now we could come now because you was only snitching for immunity or some charges and shit. But now that she's dead, we don't need you for that. So now we're gonna use you to try to get Ghost. That's basically all that was for, as a plot point for that. Yeah. I don't even think they're gonna give a fuck that she's dead. I mean, we'll see if that turns into anything else more, but I'm pretty sure that was just, oh, now Dre has a reason to be out and free. try to help them get ghosts for Angela's killing.
Yeah,
even
but
though he didn't kill
Yeah.
he didn't fucking kill
her.
her.
I don't know why he
And the detective is even hitting like, I don't think he did it.
He didn't.
It
do
don't
it.
add up.
It don't like and you know what pisses me off?
What?
That nigga know Tommy exists.
Yeah.
Right?
They thought Tommy was ghost for mad long. That just slip your brain. That like
Yeah, you
that
just
bit
forgot
of
about
information
that.
is
But
gone.
Proctor and Tommy showed up at Proctor's house and the little microphone thing.
Was it in the room?
Yeah, it was. Until
Oh no,
his daughter
she took
took it
it. That's what she
upstairs.
did. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I was like, oh thank you. She took that. I was like, because if they done fucking got some bullshit with that,
Yeah.
if they get anything on that fucking unicorn, I'm fucking throwing my TV out the window.
Nah, then like, oh, we forgot about Tommy. But you know, it's all dumb
Like
shit.
you know that nigga is fucking in the game.
Yeah, I knew this shit was going sideways because I looked at this episode and when Keisha wanted to get into this shit, so Tommy's teaching her the game, right? But then when she happened to walk into the room, was like, "Yo, how are you gonna get a female in the bathroom?" And she
She's
just
like,
so happens to walk
"Hey."
in,
Right.
and then she walking up the court steps. Her fucking badge looked fugazi, nigga. So now Keisha's in this shit. She's knee deep in this shit, and then the what's the lady that came from DC, Ramona. Now she wants to fuck Ghost. I need a beard, man. Yo, beards do it. I don't know.
Is that what it is?
I get it has to. Yo, Bobby, Ghost has to do something. Yo,
The top of the game.
top of the game. Yo,
Bobby,
yo,
then Ghost.
Yo,
Yes.
yo, bitches love facial hair. That nigga got mad facial hair.
Damn,
Bobby,
I gotta grow a beard. Nigga. I can't really grow a beard though. That shit don't
yo,
really grow. Like
Bobby,
that's about it. This
what juices and berries do you
Right?
use?
Yeah, for
What do
real.
you do?
I don't know, man. I just kept brushing it.
It's not just genetics, man. You can't brush your face and beard and fucking hair grow, nigga.
I don't know, man. My shit wasn't connected.
You didn't put like
properly.
no.
It just,
You didn't put
And then
oil in
what-
it. or anything?
Nah, I just stopped fucking with it.
So you just have patience.
I
Just stop fucking
think
with it.
I don't got patience. man.
yo, Bobby is a superhero. Let me tell you this shit, right? So one day, Bobby just
What'd I do?
he stopped ignoring the Juggerthought powers. He stopped trying to suppress them, right? So at one point, the fucking beard just started growing and growing and growing. He's like, once you accept who you are, then the powers come out.
It's thinking like Samson, nigga, but it's in the facial hair.
I want to talk to Samson.
But it's in the facial
In
hair.
the face, nigga. I need a beard. my
Damn, me
nigga.
too. Damn, I gotta grow a bird out, nigga. Damn.
I'm telling you, that'll up your stock
So
at
I'ma
least
start-
16%.
I'm gonna start brushing to some bitch. All right, nigga. How long it took you to grow it? I mean, obviously that took a while.
I just
but
didn't pay attention.
You just gonna have mass scratches on your face. Don't brush your face, nigga. You be brush your face like
Nah, but there is a way to get this shit in though, because Lord Jamar, he ain't have a beard, but his shit starting to come in.
Yeah.
I got like pay
Slowly
somebody.
but surely.
I got to pay a doctor.
I don't
like,
know. It's just something that just happens. I don't know.
Yo,
what the fuck.
Bobby sold his soul. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
I sold myself for a beard.
Yeah, come on, beard.
I got inject like beef thorax in my face or something like that.
So
Get it
myself
to grow.
for a beard.
Try again. If I sell my beard with the Juggerthought powers ignite.
Yo, for real. I got
Yes, my son.
It's like, okay, here.
So,
But my shit don't grow good though. Like one side grow longer than the other, but then the other side don't even grow. After a certain point, stop. And then it's like I look mad homeless after like 3 weeks. I be looking mad homeless. I'm like, I can't do
You
this.
got alopecia.
alopecia in the beard.
Alopecia is fucking the absence of hair, nigga. I have hair, it just don't grow right.
You got alopecia on half of your face.
Nah, seriously, this side grow longer than this side, or faster, I guess.
Alopecia.
I nigga, I'm about to put some beard oil in this bitch and then fucking brush it. And
now,
but I don't got patience.
by the end of the episode, Ghost back is against the fucking Tariq called him Pops at one point in the show. I was like, I was
But again,
proud of that
play,
nigga.
though.
But that's
Yeah, it
what
was.
I'm saying. I think he's trying to play Aida. No, I agree. I'm trying to play it off.
But now Ghost back is against the wall because now he's running out of money.
Somebody gotta give us a shot, man.
He had to go to the old white dude for money. He's telling him, you're still my nigger. And then,
Yo, Stein, he got killed that nigga.
White nigger.
that's what he was saying. Like, you need some help, little nigger.
You know what's crazy? That you remember when he took Ghost to that place where like it was like
The sex club or some shit.
yeah, that's just
Yeah.
real. I got
yeah,
did I tell you I
Definitely.
got invited to that shit, but didn't go.
Look at this nigga.
Yo,
No,
Bobby
I'm
didn't
dead
go.
ass serious.
look at the privilege.
I know.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. If I was invited, I'd have been in there, nigga.
Let me tell you something that happened this weekend, right? So,
what happened?
Dick deep in somebody's wife, nigga.
Jesus Christ. This is power.
I know it's power.
They
So-
say this is a big dick town.
Oh my god. So I put a status up on Instagram, right? Tag a nigga.
Uh-huh.
And then Bobby put up the same status. Tag a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga responds to Bobby and not me. Only reason I think he responded to Bobby is because he has 100,000 followers.
I think it was that too. Now that I thought about it,
which you can't fucking sneeze at on Instagram. Like, yo, nigga, how the fuck do you get 100,000? Like, what's the word?
Peoples?
No, what's the fuck is natural? Like, not natural, but fucking
organic
followers. How do you get 100,000 organic followers that are not paid for? And it was like, all right, so I got 900.
I got 4. I mean, which one? Like,
ain't shit to 100,000. Yo,
but you say he read it though, right?
He read it, but he didn't say shit to me.
Fuck this nigga.
But then,
no,
but like after a while, he DM me, said, "Yo, I ain't killed cuz." I was like, "All right, my nigga, you know."
Oh, he said it to you?
Yeah, we had a brief conversation.
Okay.
I'm about to
talking to killers.
Yeah, I'm about to try to get him on my podcast. Actually,
Get a killer on the show.
Glasses Malone.
Oh
yeah. That shit made me spit out my drink when he said that shit.
He said I ain't killed cuz I think talking to killers.
Oh no, he's talking about the whole Tupac.
So
it made me spit out my fucking drink. I was drinking my drink. He's
but look at the opportunity. Like,
look at God.
Look at God.
Yo,
100,000 get you a beard, nigga.
He said 100,000.
You know what? That's what I'm thinking about, yo. Each follower you get,
a follicle growing.
Each follicle start growing.
That's why I can't grow a beard. I only got 4.
I only got 900 follicles on my face. Damn, son.
Damn.
I need followers to get my beard right.
Crazy.
Yo, niggas follow me so I get my beard right. I'm trying to get some of these bitches.
Nah, I mean, you don't gotta follow me because I ain't that interesting. So
yeah,
all you do is post depressing shit and shit about your weekend, and then when he be in the car, listen to one song for like 4 snaps.
Same song on repeat.
Same song
on repeat.
Yo, if it ain't St. John, it's somebody else.
Yeah, St. John's my shit, nigga.
But
I was listening to Sir the other day though. That's my shit. John Redcomb.
It's dope.
Shit.
Ghost wants to work with Tommy again. Yes, Power.
Yeah.
So Ghost wants to work with Tommy again. So he called Tommy. He's like, "Yo, we got to take this nigga Jason now." And Tommy basically said, "Suck my dick
from the back
early." And then so Ghost back is against the wall. Now he don't know what to do. Now you got these epic ass cinematic shots where it's like, oh, he looking over the town and Tommy looking at the bridge. Where the fuck is Tommy walking where he's just like at the bridge?
I don't know.
But
it don't matter.
Power.
I got a question. Yo, is it just me or is the acting getting worse on the show?
Acting it's always been bad to me. I think
maybe I just was ignoring.
I think Tasha is bad.
Nah, I think Tasha's good.
On a 1 to 10 scale, she's at like a 6.5. Tommy's always been like, the way they deliver lines has never been like the best to me. The best in the show to me is Ghost to me.
But I feel like he's not even being that good either.
I feel like
Angela's good.
I feel like Ghost is always good. Lorenz was good. Lorenz Tate is always he's fucking goat. Who else? Reek is getting better. I would say that
a little bit. Mm-hmm. Him and his girl falling in love. I'm proud of that nigga.
Yeah, proud
Kicking
of that
nigga out.
Yeah, where he's like, yo, y'all get the fuck out.
I'm about to play chess and then I'm done. Fuck, never mind.
Yeah, I mean that's what he do in college. You can say that.
He's not in college though.
Yes, he is.
He's literally in high school still. He's just in a private high school. He's still in high school.
Wait.
He's 16 years old, nigga. He's in high school. Yes, he's not in college. They just sent him away because his sister died, so they sent him to his private college and shit. I mean, private high school.
He's in high school. Time, I thought this nigga was in college.
It's just like a chartered high school thing, like where they just send the kids away because it's obviously a good school if you pay that much money and they stay there. But it's not actually college. He's in high school.
Wow.
He's like 16.
I'm dumb. I don't pay attention to shit.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. So,
but Power, episode 4.
And I ain't seen that not an adult.
Right?
No fucking RA, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
That's why niggas selling drugs like that.
Easy around the campus.
Right? Drinking in the fucking room.
Howard homecoming, nigga.
Dude, they're not even in college. Is my point.
Just say it.
Just let this. I'm going with you.
Yeah,
you coming too.
October 11th.
You coming too.
I gotta see when that is.
We gotta celebrate for my birthday. You gotta come.
Well, let me just
shut the fuck up. You coming?
I'll think about it.
No, don't think. Just do.
About it.
Stop thinking. There's gonna be drinks.
Yeah.
And legal women.
Yeah.
Let's go. You in? Are you in?
I'm thinking about it.
Fucking right, doggy. So, Yeah, it was mad easy for homegirl to find out that he's selling drugs. So you tell me the rest of the campus don't know that this little black boy just come on campus and now everybody oxyed and Xanaxed out?
Yeah, we got the yay.
But whatever. I saw the preview for episode 4. It's not giving me much hope either. But
I didn't even watch that.
Yeah.
The end? You ain't watched the end?
No, I didn't watch the thing for the
previews.
Yeah, the preview for the
nigga say I had enough of this shit. Just cut the shit off. You know what? I don't blame you, my nigga.
Yeah. This is not a big rich town.
Yeah, it's not a big.
It's just too much stuff going on.
It's a small poor town.
It's like they're doing stuff just to wow you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you thought this was gonna happen? No, this.
No.
I'm still mad the nigga killed Donovan.
Yeah.
For no reason, it seemed like.
I knew it was coming when as soon as the shooting started happening. I was like, and it wasn't. I was like, oh, is this a dream sequence? This nigga like freaking out. He having like a dream, like being paranoid, getting attacked.
And
I'm
then the
like,
mere fact that he shot the nigga in front of his daughter.
Yeah, it's like
the daughter's hood fell off. Like you can't hear a loud ass gunshot through a hood.
Also, he don't know how to take care of his kid because all the seasons before with him and his kid, they made it seem like he was like a good dad and like he was like super caring about his daughter and all this shit. And the whole time with the thing with Kane and this shit, he was so scared for his daughter's life and like, and then all of a sudden now he don't give a fuck about her like that. Now like I can't hold her.
He give a fuck about her,
but he seemed like less like he gave a fuck.
Man, you can give a fuck about your daughter and not know how to take care of her.
I don't know. He seemed like he was the one taking care of her and shit like before.
I mean, because he don't want her with the mom because everybody know who her mom is, so they might try to get him through them. So it's like I want
this baby.
Dog. That's what I see. Yo, she's fucking 2. She's like when I had my child, I didn't know how to cradle. I'm like,
yeah, that's a newborn.
So do you hold him like a football? Like you running for a touchdown, or how do you hold him and cradle him? Like when they 2, when you can like hold him like, hey, come here, little nigga,
grab him by the armpit and just
like come here. Like how the fuck do you not know how to hold your child? But it's power.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I don't know.
This is power, my nigga. It don't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. But
fuck me, right?
Yeah, fuck it. Topics.
Small poor town.
So Bad Boys for Life trailer.
Yeah.
How do we feel about Bad Boys for Life coming out? Now, they said this shit's coming out in January or February next year? Yeah, if you get to the end of the trailer, it says it's coming out in February or January of next year, which I thought was kind of weird for a blockbuster movie like this to come out like when it's cold out.
Yeah. Then there's definitely like some summer shit.
Yeah, it's based in Miami, so why would you put a Miami-based movie out in the fucking winter, in the dead of winter? But the trailer as a whole, what's y'all opinions on it?
I liked it. I chuckled at it.
Yeah,
it was good to see Lawrence and some Martin and some shit. Because like I don't think I've seen Martin in nothing in a while actually, like in terms of like movies and shit. So it was cool to see him. I feel like Martin lost a step.
Lost a step?
Yeah.
Did he?
I feel like he lost a step. I feel like even from the trailer, I feel like his acting isn't on par.
Never really like an actor.
No, but okay, so Bad Boys 1. Okay, so if you want to compare it to either Bad Boys 1 or Will Smith. So Will Smith is just still Will Smith. And then like compared to Bad Boys 1, I felt like he was like more comedic and more on his timing. Even Bad Boys 2, I feel like he's like still in that pocket. This one, I just feel like he got the call like because the internet been talking about it like, yeah, we need to do another Bad Boys.
We can't do it without you. If we would if we could, but
type shit.
You have to kind of be in or they ain't gonna watch it.
Exactly. So it's like I feel like he lost a step.
But also to be fair, he actually wasn't even really in that trailer that much. It was all Will Smith. Yeah, he was mad Will Smith and Martin.
Yeah.
It was all Will Smith.
Yeah, little parts like when he put on the glasses, he's like, "Oh shit, Mike, this is in HD." I've been telling you that shit for 10 years.
And then even the crux of the movie is even more about just Will Smith's character.
Yeah, but it seems like the plot line again is Martin wants to retire.
Yeah,
so it's like that was the plot line of the second one where it's like, yo, I'm getting too old for this shit, Mike.
Come on, man, you know this is Lethal Weapons.
No, Lethal Weapon went on for a good 4 or 5.
It did 5.
4. It did 4.
It was 4.
The last one was Jet Li.
Yeah, that was the last one.
Yeah, the last one was Joe Pesci. No, it wasn't Jet Li. It wasn't Jet Li.
Yeah, it was Jet Li. Jet Li was the dude with the braid.
Yeah, the one with the one braid.
I definitely confused my Asians just now. I'm sorry. So it was Jet Li, Chris Rock, and Joe Pesci.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. To me, it just seemed like Martin lost a step, but the trailer looked like it's gonna be a good movie.
Yeah,
it just seemed like a bunch of explosions, gunfire, Will Smith jumping off his shit, car rides, the whole car chase scene, Miami. Yeah. You gotta stop saying bitches.
I technically said bitches.
Okay, you're right. Bitches. Yeah, it seemed like a cool movie, but in the dead of winter,
Is it really? Is it really coming out of winter? I didn't see that part.
Like if you get, I'm not bugging. I know I was drunk when I seen the shit, but it was like,
see, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I know it didn't say 11/11 or no shit like that. I know it said like 1/20 something.
I mean, it might
it's
be.
coming out January 17th, 2020.
Damn,
that's weird.
Oh no, don't do that.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, why would you put a blockbuster movie like that, a Will Smith movie, a Bad Boys movie, out in the middle of winter?
So maybe they're not too confident in the film, or maybe they're like, I don't know. Maybe because they're. I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I'm guessing maybe they're like, oh, here's a surprise, something different, because they try to spread some shit out. So like maybe we won't put it in the summer because that's when all the like the super big blockbuster superhero movies are. We don't want to get lost in that. So if we put it in January, where there's probably not a lot of movies, there's not a lot of competition, maybe it gives it a good chance to make a decent amount of money.
Yeah, but we know a lot of people don't go outside in winter.
Yeah. I don't go outside, period. So I don't know what to tell you.
So it's like, it's cold. I'm not trying to go to the movies.
But they can have heat and
they can have heat, but it doesn't matter. A lot of people don't like to go out. When you live on the East Coast,
get you a nice little pretzel with warm butter and some salt.
That sounds good as fuck.
Some popcorns.
My mouth's salivated. But
snuggle up with your baby. Watch a little Will Smith.
I need me a woman. It's lonely out here, babe.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up for you.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till I go to Howard. Hampton. Where the fuck we going? Howard Homecoming.
So wait till I get in front of these college bitches. College women.
Wait till I go to Ted DMV area. I'm gonna snag me something. So
Bad boys.
Bad boys. What you going? No, I mean,
that part was a little weird at the end. No, don't sing this.
They had the new team, the young team. It's like you fucking it up.
It take you years to learn the words. It was cool. I mean, I'm gonna go see it because it's Martin and Will. So this is the ending to a trilogy. This is like the cap of like And
this is the first trailer too, so maybe we'll get another trailer that might have more Martin in it, and it might be funnier, and maybe he'll look more.
I don't want another trailer though. I don't want them to show more of what they've shown already. Because they showed the car chase scene. They showed Will Smith jumping onto a helicopter. They showed them talking shit. They shown them, talking about this my last ride. I need you. So who the fuck I'm gonna put this off with if it ain't you? So I don't need to see anything else. I just need to. I need promo. Other than that, I just need to know what the plot line is. If it's just like more drug cartel shit, then I could watch the second one. This ain't really nothing. That's how you drive.
Is Gabrielle Union gonna be in this at all?
Probably
I hope
not. Nah.
Damn, nigga.
I don't like Gabrielle Union. She's the same person in every movie. Same exact person in every movie. I'm here. That's her. Same exact person.
No, I mean she's strong black woman in every movie. she's opinionated strong black woman in every movie.
I'm here.
So, Disenchantment trailer.
Oh shit!
Y'all can talk about this while I go to the bathroom.
Disenchantment.
I don't give two shits about this. So
I'm about to give one shit.
I'm about to go.
I don't know.
Why when they going to hell?
Yeah, did I even finish the last fucking first season? Nope. I don't even remember.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know. Niggas is dead and frozen and turned to dust or turned to stone or some shit. And then Alpha died apparently, and he went to heaven, but they got him to go to hell so they can get him to escape because they need him for whatever the fuck they need him for. It looked alright though. It wasn't letting me.
I kind of like how it looks better than the last season though.
Yeah, see, I don't know. It looks a little funnier.
Yeah, because there's actually something going on.
Yeah, it's
What's
actually
the deal with her and her mom?
If I remember, I think. Like, because I think in
did her mom leave or something like that?
Yeah, because I think her mom was like frozen in stone or some shit or whatever, and then like at the end, like the last couple of episodes, she got broken free. But it turns out like her mom is evil. And I think her mom. If I'm not mistaken, I think her mom is the one who turned all the people to stone. Oh, like her mom is evil.
Was she like a witch or something?
Yeah, she's like a witch. Yeah, I think she's like a witch, and like she was trying to like do some shit. Either turn her father to stone or turn her son to stone. But I think the whatever the main character's name was about to get caught in a spell or some shit. So I think she kind of pushed her out the way or did some shit. So she ended up getting turned to stone herself. But she's like evil. And I think at the end of the season, she was trying to get her to come with her, but she didn't do it. And so now I guess she's got to be on an adventure to stop her mom and turn everybody back to normal or some shit. But the trailer looked alright. The trailer was like whatever. But I'm not super excited for the show. Obviously, I watched the first season. It's like this is alright. This ain't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just their comedy is like the same thing.
Yeah,
how I
their
guess,
comedy is bland as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because I know I haven't really watched Simpsons in a very long time, but from what I've heard, Simpsons isn't really that good anymore either. So maybe it's just that brand of comedy doesn't work anymore, or is it just not? I don't know.
You need the ogre dick, like like we said, like
make it more rated R,
but
like more vulgar and more whatever. Fuck, but
might as well. I'm pretty sure Netflix let you get away with that shit.
Oh, they'll let you get away with anything on fucking Netflix.
Yeah, man, shit. You see, Big Mouth coming out with season 3 too.
When? Soon.
I don't know, but they announced it.
Oh yeah, well they got renewed for like 3 seasons at the same time.
I think more than that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That'd be crazy. I just like that the trailer has some event that's actually happened other than on the last one. It was just like
her just doing shit.
Yeah, it's just sort of random episodes. And this it kind of has a plot.
Yeah, there's like a through line that like they have to turn everybody back to normal from the stone and fucking make it work.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I'm a
Disenchantment.
I'm gonna at least turn it on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna at least turn it on. I don't know how well I'm gonna pay attention to it, but I'll turn it on.
Did y'all see Dark Crystal?
I have not seen it.
Okay.
I don't even think I've seen the original shit.
You know,
it's so much shit to watch.
I watched Dark Crystal, the new one. And I went back to the original.
Yeah, way better, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I would hope. I still ain't seen Stranger Things. Nigga.
Oh,
really?
I forgot about that.
Period. I've never seen it at all.
Season 1?
Yeah, you ain't seen it at all.
Wow.
Yeah, I ain't watched that. I ain't watched Orange is the New Black for the last 2 seasons. There was something else that just came out.
I stopped watching Orange is the New Black after it got spoiled for me.
Oh, they spoiled what, the last season?
Nah, when they said Poussey died.
Oh yeah, that was sad.
And I was like, what the fuck? I ain't watched like since before. Like that season, I haven't gotten to that part yet.
I think that made me stop one.
That's like that's like season 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's like 4 or 5.
I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, that's
fuck y'all.
Sad. She did not deserve that. Damn.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Why you had to bring that back up?
I'm sorry, man.
That was a scar.
Yeah.
She was cool, man. She deserved to die like that, nigga. They are your gardener, nigga. She gonna breathe. That's not even funny. That wasn't even meant as a joke.
So, Disenchantment has said he's gonna watch it.
I'm gonna put it on.
Bobby gonna use that as another sleep aid.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch this shit. Now, speaking of Netflix shows, Netflix said they're gonna try weekly episodes for some shows.
Did they give a list of what those shows were yet, or they just said
it was something that you don't care about?
Oh,
basically.
Yeah, they gotta figure something out because that's what Disney Plus is doing. Plus, I think they're just trying to figure it out. It's like, let's see how this works. It's basically, I just think they just throw a rock at a wall.
So why would they divert from their method in order to appease Disney Plus or like compete with Disney Plus?
But they're not doing it for everything, so I think they're just trying this because they're gonna. I think they have to try to figure a way to try to keep people still using Netflix when Disney Plus comes. So they're just seeing what works.
The opposite of smart. So for niggas that like when a whole season drops and they get to binge watch it, why would you take away that luxury when if you're gonna do it with some shows and hopefully it's not the popular shows, why experiment on like lesser known or like not as popular shows?
Well, here's the thing. Also, there's good and bad in the batch release. Like it's good if it's good, but it's also bad because if you watch 13 episodes in a day, then you're done and you're not talking about it. So you talk about it for a week and then it's done. If you're releasing it weekly, that gives them people more time to talk about the show, more, social media engagement, more that type of shit. So I think that's part of the reason too, because like a lot of shows, it's like, the show came out and it's done and it's blump and it's over. And now if it comes out weekly,
everybody that worked on that show, that gives them some fucking, sense of pride. It was like, yo, niggas didn't watch this shit in a fucking day.
I spent like 3-4 months of my life making it.
You two motherfuckers. It was like, yo, you ain't watched Jessica Jones yet? Oh, it's been a week. The fuck you mean it's been out a week, motherfucker?
Yeah, been out a week, nigga.
I'll sit down there and watch a whole fucking clip in one day. The hell's wrong with you?
What else am I gonna do?
Nigga, it's mad other shit to do with your life than to sit there and watch 13 hours of a fucking series. Huh? Pay more attention to the show. Do something with the show. Edit something. I don't know.
I've been doing that now, kinda.
I don't know, nigga. Look up something. Google something with the show.
I can Google and watch the show at the same time.
No, you can't. Help take us to the next level.
I don't know how. I don't know what the next level.
See, we here.
Yeah,
we be here.
I don't know how to get us to the next level. I be wanting it, but I don't know how to do it.
Here.
Yeah.
I need to be here.
But I don't know how.
Here.
I don't know how to get the
Okay. But I think that's smart.
Yeah.
when it comes to the people that actually work on these shows, because to have, I guess, fulfillment, what it's like somebody didn't just sit down and watch my shit in one day after I spent a year working on it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Certain shows, I guess you're right with the social media engagement and, having it actually last longer than a week and no one's talking about it after that, after everyone just sat down and watched it, unknown. I mean, because after you watch that many episodes, are you really interested if you binge watch it? Do you retain all the information?
Yeah, that's the thing, it's
gone. Can you like Power of Titans? Can you do a weekly review, or can you do a review on each episode if all of them just blend together, basically?
No, you can't. It's kind of hard. Like if you're gonna, especially if you're going off of memories, it all melds together. You'll remember this thing happened, but I don't remember if it was episode 1 or if it was episode 17.
5,
right? I was like, I don't know. It happened.
Yeah, when I was watching Daredevil, I didn't know what the fuck happened. I just know it was old.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Then I was like, I don't know what episode that was.
Ninjas, and then it's over.
Then the shit ended. I was like,
oh, okay,
it's
cool.
over already?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, so I get, and again, I guess they just trying to figure out, because they just trying to stay in the game, dog. I think so.
Okay.
Oh, let's try some weekly shit. See if that keeps people engaged more. Maybe on the app longer. I don't know. The longer you're on the app, the more chances you have to click something else. It's like an original. The longer you stay, the more reason you'll keep the fucking service. I don't fucking know the fucking pneumatics behind it.
I don't know. It seemed like a bad idea to me, if you're asking me.
It's not for everything though. So.
Just do it daily. I'd rather you do it daily than do it weekly.
That's bad too.
Even that
is it
daily? Then
you watch one episode
a day.
Next day I'll do it. Watch another one.
It's not bad. I mean, it's the same concept, right? It's not giving you everything all at once and giving you time to digest it and sit with it. And
yeah, but there's some shit. So you're talking about some shit that lasts a week versus some shit that lasts a quarter of a year. Where it's like if you got a 13 episode season, it was like
that's
okay,
a month.
A 13 episodes, it's 4 weeks in a month, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about? Yo. We went to the same schools, right? we both graduated from high school, right?
Yeah.
We know simple shit, right? The fuck?
I be trying to tell niggas I'm stupid as fuck, but nobody ever want to believe me.
Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
But I know it was more than a month, but I was just saying a number. But anyway.
Okay. Just making sure you ain't stupid.
Oh, no, I'm stupid. Don't get it twisted. I can't spell. I can't do math. I can't read. I can't do grammars. Like, I don't know where all that information. I went to school, but I don't know what happened to that information.
You think you drank it away, like drowned?
Yep. It's possible. I didn't know that was a thing, but it's possible. I wouldn't put it past me. Like, my brain, it don't retain information well.
Oh, wait.
Yo,
you know who you are? You Ralph Wiggins.
I'm in danger.
I remember that nigga was picking his nose one time and went too far. He was like, "Nah, I forgot math." Yo, special kind of stupid.
I swear.
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
Kristen Stewart revealed she could have a Marvel role if she would have hid her sexuality.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
I don't believe that, but
I believe it.
Do you really? I don't, but
you think that Marvel is not embracing? What the fuck was I trying to say?
Embracing.
Embracing.
I know that's. Oh, but I'm stupid. No, I'm
drunk.
Okay.
You don't think that Marvel is not embracing sexuality? And
well, you have to think of when she said it. Like,
femininity.
She's not talking about right now. She's talking about in the past. So when did she start? 2008. So 2010, 2011. We
weren't as open
like that. So it's possible that happened. And I don't think she would lie and come out and say some shit.
Yeah,
like
I guess. Like, why would she lie about that?
But Kristen Stewart as who though? Like a role? Okay, so a role in the Marvel universe, would it be like a
Kristen Stewart?
I mean, it doesn't really matter who she's going to play.
Would it be like a Natalie Portman thing, or would it be like a Miss Marvel thing?
I'm assuming probably, because if we're talking back in the day, they weren't really doing the female-led thing, so she probably would have been a supporting character, so she'd have been like Natalie Portman's role. Obviously not Pepper Potts, because they probably need somebody older to do it. Whatever, one of them type of side character women, like the side chick woman thing would probably be what she should have played.
Well, she's gay?
Or bisexual or something like that. I think she might actually just be gay, but I think she might be.
Kristen Stewart wants to be a gay superhero.
Good for her.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she whatever. She seemed happy.
Okay, cool.
Good for her.
But it's fucked up that they would exclude.
Yeah, that's
you,
why
right?
I'm like, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But why would she lie about that? Like, why would she just
Yeah,
make that
like,
up?
it's
There's no
just-
reason for her to make that up and just like say that. That's like,
I mean,
man,
clickbait
wow.
headlines. Get yourself popping again. I don't know.
She popping right now.
Popping,
She
like-
doing all right. She's another Charlie's Angels thing.
Yeah.
Kristen Stewart's and Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
As an angel. With who else?
Is Naomi Scott in it? And then some other chick. You know, it's fucked up. I watched the trailer. The trailer actually looks okay. Like the movie looks like it might actually be pretty good.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if it's gonna be like the greatest thing in the world, but it looks like it's like, no, it doesn't look bad.
Okay.
I laughed. I chuckled.
So
Like a flawed. Like a flaw.
So 2 new Spawn animated series are in the works. Why 2?
Yeah, because which is stupid. They're getting one for adults and one for kids. How the fuck are you gonna do Spawn for kids?
I'm sorry. I was just about to ask that.
Like, I don't fuck. You can't do the sad man for kids, man.
You
can.
can't do Spawn, period, for
You
children.
You can.
It's hell.
This nigga murdered mad niggas, and then a nigga murdered the nigga, and the nigga went to hell because he got murdered by a nigga, and then came back to murder niggas. Where in there is children? Where?
You can change the storyline to where it's not as explicit as that, where it's like, okay, he died, he did some bad things, now he's back fighting crime.
He's a hell Spawn.
Dog, you asking me how the fuck I'm gonna spin Spawn to kids?
His handler.
I don't see how you can spin Spawn to kids.
His handler was a Latino clown.
Spawn, he's up
Yo.
there. If he can't do it, no one can.
I'm adding-
Hey, Spawn.
You know the crazy shit? I'm adding John Leguizamo to my list of people I want to talk to. Because I dead ass forgot about that shit. So we got
the Duke of Thick Fried, yo. That shit was
So we got
the Chrisky
Tu Wong Fu. We got Tu Wong Fu.
He was good at that though. He was good at
Luigi Mario. Clown. Yo, John Leguizamo. I'm not. So it's Kevin Eastman, T-Pain, Will Smith, and John Leguizamo. I'm not ending this show until I talk to one of them fucking people. No, all of those people. I'm not ending this show until I list.
Hilarious. Yo, so add all them niggas.
I have a list of it. I have a bucket
Get
list
all
of
them niggas
motherfuckers.
on this show.
I-
I'm gonna ask a nigga about Violator.
Violator.
That's what his name was, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
It was a violator.
It's like a clown with a leather biker jacket and overalls, I
But
believe.
2 Spawn animated series, I'm pretty sure they're not coming on the same channel, so they're all going to be by the same like team and directors and
I'm guessing.
artists
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. But one is just going to be
They still gonna have Goliath?
Cartoon Network and one's going to be HBO.
I guess.
I just
know how
don't
they're gonna do
understand
this.
the
do one.
children the children Spawn thing
Yeah.
is a wild.
You know, that shit ended when it just starting to get good.
What
The show.
nobody was watching that shit.
They was watching that, the HBO one.
If they was watching, they wouldn't have canceled that shit. Niggas barely knew that shit was on.
Yeah, I think that shit was ahead of its
well,
time.
HBO wasn't like popping
HBO
like it is
been
now.
popping. HBO was popping back then.
Not
HBO
back-
was popping.
HBO has always been popping.
Yeah, HBO been
Nah, it
popping.
ain't popping like it's popping now.
No,
Nah,
there has never been a fucking
Sopranos?
decade where HBO wasn't popping.
It came out.
Sopranos.
It came out before.
It came out before all that shit.
Sex
Hold
and the
up.
City.
Hold on, it came out before all that
Real
shit.
Sex.
No,
Okay,
Bill
that
Maher.
was on.
no, not even the fact of that shit. HBO was a channel that you went to see uncensored shit.
That too.
Where it was like, yo, when you want to hear a movie that got all the cusses in it,
Yeah.
you go to HBO. When you want to see some
You
really
mother flyer, you.
yeah, this mother flood pucker. What the French toast?
What
Like,
the
nigga.
French toast?
But I don't know. Spawn, I'm with it. I want to see it. I just want
Yeah,
to
watch
see. Yeah, I just want to see what channel is gonna
I
come.
just want
on.
to see. I just want to see the kids version because I need to know how that works.
I mean, if it's gonna be on some Nick Jr. shit, like Marvel Kids,
I need to know what a child version of Spawn look like because
like fucking Michael J. What?
Spawn Go.
Yeah,
That's what it is. Spawn Go.
Spawn go.
children. There's nothing about Spawn that's for children. Like I don't even understand that. That's crazy.
Listen, don't try to understand shit.
Yo, but I need to.
So, Sam Raimi to reboot The Grudge. Do you want to see The Grudge?
Me personally, no, because I don't watch scary movies. But
Oh yeah, you pussy.
I like how Sam Raimi does scary movies though.
yeah, no, he did the was it fucking Evil
Evil
Dead?
Dead.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so that's his background. That's just like he does horror
Yeah.
and like scary, and I guess a Grudge is like that's the Asian chick in the well, right?
Yeah.
I
Come on
believe
the
so.
TV.
Yeah, the TV and stuff. So yeah, I think he could handle that and do good.
I mean,
I'm
I'm
with
with
it.
it. I'll see it again.
I'm not gonna watch it, but
A
I'm with
reboot.
it.
I mean, I feel like it just came out not too long ago, so a reboot was kind
No,
of
that
like
shit came out a minute ago.
The Grudge.
Yeah. That shit came out when I was working in the movie theater.
That shit came
I was
out
like 16.
that's
Damn.
like 09, right?
No.
What that's 03, 04?
Around there?
The Gr-
05, 06 maybe.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, shout out to Head Show. He got me mad free movies. I need to read these topics before I fucking come in here. So, Orlando Bloom reveals he was only paid $175K for Lord of the Rings trilogy, but would do it again for half the money.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
What?
That makes sense.
They
didn't.
Shut the fuck up.
All right.
$175K?
Yeah. First off, that's a good amount of money because I'd take $175,000 right the fuck
But
now.
you don't act.
Okay, first off, how long? When did Lord of the Rings come out? 1999 or like early 2000s.
$175K
Okay.
for Lord of the Rings trilogy.
They did not know that it was going to do well like that.
So after
It was a gamble.
After the first one,
They filmed them
you
all at
don't
once.
read.
That was the first. One of the first film franchises to do something like that. They filmed them all at once.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
They didn't know it was going to be as big of a hit as it
I
became.
hate when you tell me shut the fuck up and push it in my mind. Put it in my mind.
I didn't say that.
When he was like, they filmed them all at once. I was like, I'll have a response for that.
They did. They filmed them all up. That's what I'm saying. That's why it makes sense. Because obviously, I think he wasn't even that big of an actor. I think the Lord of the Rings stuff made him into a bigger actor that helped him get to the Pirates of the Caribbean shit. So
Yeah.
I don't even know how big of an actor he was before that. I don't really know. All the
wasn't.
films. He probably wasn't. So $175K is a decent amount of money, and they didn't know how well it was going to fucking do. They filmed them all at once. It's the first time they're doing some shit like that. And it happened to fucking resonate with people and make a fucking shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So he's like, but I think they enjoyed the experience. So he's like, oh, I'd do it for less than that because I had fun doing it.
That means that nigga got guap now.
That too, I'm sure. Especially after Pirates of the Caribbean and shit, because those make a lot of money.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, so I get it, but
$175.
I think because I feel like the biggest star in those films was Elijah Wood, and even he wasn't that big of a. I mean, he's a bigger
But
star.
Orlando
But
Bloom's character was like the badass.
Yeah,
Legolas again, but they didn't know that it was going to be like that, and they filmed them all at once. Everybody else is like pretty known. I'm not no name, but they weren't. There's like no really big actors in that.
And he said he'd do it.
They became
for
big
half.
after. Yeah, because it was like
Elijah Wood was big before that.
Kinda, but not like he wasn't like Brad Pitt superstar. It wasn't like Brad
not
Pitt
Brad
or
Pitt,
some
but he
shit
was like a
Tom Cruise type level
go-to.
shit.
90 shit. Elijah Wood is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Damn. See?
You're right.
So, but yeah, but he was probably the biggest name. Elijah Wood was probably the biggest name in that franchise outside of like what's the homeboy's name that was so around? Christopher something.
What, old dude?
Yeah, the old dude.
Yeah.
And even he was, I don't think, like a big name in America per se.
UK
Yeah, I was
shit,
saying
Broadway,
yeah.
shit like that.
Same thing with homeboy that played Gandalf. Again, I think he got.
Yeah.
I think because after that,
Broadway once again.
yeah, like they were like superstar.
like Broadway
Yeah, they were
figures.
like superstar marquee names. I'm sure they've done stuff, but it wasn't like in
Was
the 90s.
X-Men
but-
going on the same time?
No.
wasn't?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
somewhere around that,
Okay,
in that
so-
area because I think 2000
Okay, so I
is
think
when or 2001 or
I
something.
think
like that is
Harry
when
Potter
Avatar-
first came out around that time too.
Yeah, first one. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think those things led into those other things. Help build the star. But I'm saying the biggest name, and that was Elijah Wood, and they didn't know. Liv Tyler, but she probably wasn't like a big star
That's
on her own.
crazy.
Viggo Mortensen, who nobody might even.
Okay.
Kate Blanchett was in there too, I think, but Carl Urban. But these are people who became bigger after the fact. But
yeah.
they weren't like Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or Tom Hanks. It's like, like niggas like that.
I mean, the only big person, well, semi-big, was the Lost Boys dude. What was his name?
Oh,
He was a Lost I forgot his fucking name.
we got his name too. He was
Oh,
in,
Shawn Ashmore?
Yeah,
No,
he was
not Shawn
in the
Ashmore.
Goonies.
he was in
Yeah.
Stranger Things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rudy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rudy could play for me, coach.
So on to some gaming news. So Nintendo won't release NES and SNES games monthly.
Yeah.
Basura.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna put them out whenever they feel like putting them out, but it's not gonna be like a monthly steady stream of things.
They didn't give a reason, but I got a feel of why. Because I think it was kind of like a crunch to get all those games up at one time. If they're dealing with the licensing issues like we was talking about, then it's gonna take some time for them to put that shit up.
Plus, maybe they just want to make sure they don't want to like have to have a schedule. So they're like they just want to make sure everything works as well as it can, and then put it out. Yeah, so just put it out whenever it's ready.
Right. They got some good shit up there.
Yeah, they got some good shit up there.
They got Mario World, Yoshi's Island. They got, I thought they were gonna put Battletoads Double Dragons.
Nah.
I gotta wait for that hard ass.
I mean, they got fucking Kirby up there. They got what else they got up there? Star Fox.
Yeah.
They got some fake ass
Joe and Mac.
Streets of Rage up there.
Oh yeah.
Skate.
Nah, skating on it. It's some wild shit. Yeah, but they got Joe and Mac up there. Yeah, Joe and Mac, that game is depressing.
Ooh, is it? Why?
Because I never had a Mac. And I was just always by myself.
Oh yeah, player 2 ass nigga.
Yeah, player 2 ass nigga.
They better put Goof Juice up there. Remember that shit?
I do remember that shit. That shit.
Always number one.
Yo, the best Disney song ever. I'm gonna fuck with nobody. Say that shit slap, nigga. Let's see. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royales 2 rumor for PlayStation 5. This could be big.
It makes sense.
If done right. If done right.
Because they got Spider-Man now. In Spyro.
Can they use
Crash Bandicoot. All that.
Can they use him?
What, Spider-Man? Yeah. Sony owns the rights to the game. So
I know, but like he's still
that's
Spider-Man.
Yeah, but that's why he wasn't in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Which one? The latest one?
No, not the latest one. It was
3.
one of them. Which one
3.
was the whack one?
3.
Okay.
Yeah, Ultimate.
Yeah, that shit.
That makes sense.
Spider-Man wasn't in.
I don't think he wasn't in one of them.
No, they didn't have a lot of them other fucking like the Fox. Like they didn't. I think the only nigga they put in was like Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like the rest of them, they had like the Guardians of the Galaxy niggas instead, and like Captain Marvel and shit. They didn't put like.
He's in the one that recently came out.
Yeah, it wasn't like
the one that came out. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Like,
they left out mad people.
I don't think Gambit, like none of that shit, because that's Fox own all that shit. It makes sense.
That's what happened.
It's the same thing how Ultimate Alliance 3 got more like the Marvel Cinematic Universe characters than the other shit, because it's like we don't really own that shit right now, so we're not gonna put them in.
I didn't know who like 3 of them motherfuckers was when I started playing that shit. I was like,
there's mad niggas on that shit. I was like, I don't know.
Who the fuck is this chick with the
guns on her back? I was like, who the fuck is this? I Googled her. I was like, oh, okay, guess you cool, nigga.
Like, what? Yeah, I guess you cool enough to put in the game. You got guns and shit.
Bang bang. Shoot him in his fitted.
Reddit votes God of War the #1 PS4 game.
I mean, I haven't played it.
I have to agree with that.
I would have.
I'd agree with it too. I ain't even play it, but I can. From what I've heard.
Have you ever been on Reddit?
I did.
Reddit seemed like another dimension, yo.
So it sort of is. You got to get used to forums.
I've gone on Reddit. I've never been on Reddit. If that makes sense.
I am confusion.
So like, have you gone? I've used the website, but I don't like be in like the subreddits.
Oh,
like,
you haven't gone in like
I just use it to look for porn.
What the fuck? You using them?
Okay. That's it.
Yeah, let me see.
Time to go.
Let's see. Nasty rabbit sex.
No, not even. No, it's not even. No, it's
teacher after school special.
Well, no, I don't do it like that. But not because they'll have. Because you know how some chicks be like having OnlyFans and all that other shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be like, I'm not paying for that, so I gotta try to find it.
Somebody ripped it.
Yeah. So you got
stealing money from business.
Yeah. So I'm like, let's see if Reddit got this.
How you got pirated porn?
Yo, Reddit do it.
Pirate porn.
Yo, there's a nigga out there for everything. Let me tell you.
Yo, some Bobby out there for everything.
Yes.
These niggas out here.
Niggas like, oh shit, I got a mega folder of this nasty. Bless up.
Y'all niggas out here watching bootleg booty.
Bootleg booty.
Don't pay that $5.99, nigga. Just go.
Got the copyrighted coochie.
That uncensored uterus.
Pirated pussy.
Pirated pussy.
Yeah, sometimes because like you, like I don't want to give you $5 and this should be garbage. Like I'm not giving you money for that. You know, sample and dabble. And then once I'm, see, I was like, I don't even want to spend the money.
Yeah, once you done, you like, I'll just delete this whole folder.
I don't even care anymore.
Come to your senses.
Yeah.
Yo, that's why you gotta talk to people at the bar, yo. Yo, you can't be living like this forever.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even see this.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm as nasty as I thought I was. Because I don't be
Obviously
going
not.
on Reddit and like Tumblr. I used to see it. It just
Tumblr.
Tumblr. It
Tumblr-
used to just pop up on my on my timeline.
No
but
more. And
going-
I used to, Tumblr, but it's not there no more.
Yeah, I know you know.
So you know what I mean? You gotta get creative.
Tumblr is
You gotta get
wild.
creative.
Was wild. It's not as wild anymore. I mean,
they're
it's
trying
like
to
little,
clean
it's
it
like
up,
little
but-
pockets. You can still catch a titty out somewhere,
Nigga,
but
the white chicks up there talking about some kill their jeans.
Why don't you just
Oh,
go to,
yeah.
why don't you just go to Twitter? Yo, Twitter got mad uncensored porn on it too.
They take that shit off sometimes though.
yeah, but it's,
Sometimes they gotta be wild shit though. It gotta be like never mind.
yeah, I don't know.
I want better for you, Hesh. I really do. In 2020, I want better for you.
Me too.
I want to make you a fake fucking Tinder account or some shit.
Oh, don't do it.
Fake Tinder account.
Make you a fucking what's that shit? Bumble. I'll make you a Bumble account.
I'll do it. But
Get you a girlfriend. You gotta stop living like this. Reddit is not the way.
look, I'm not saying like Reddit ain't the goat. Like you ever been like scroll like I'll be like on Instagram, I'm like whatever, like oh she do OnlyFans. I was like, like I just want to like sometimes you're just curious. Sometimes you're just curious.
Bitch, you do OnlyFans. I got something for your ass.
Just be curious. You don't never just be curious.
I don't be curious what a titty look like. If you seen one, you've seen them all.
Now you ruined it. Now you made it.
Now you ruined it.
I'm curious. Like now it's like, damn, why you?
I'm not knocking your hustle.
It. I'm saying she doing it. I'm like, yo, but I'm not paying you. I'm gonna just see if I can find it, and if I can, I'm like, oh shit. And if I can't, I move on.
Man. Some nigga be just sitting there screen capturing all this. Yeah.
Yo, there's a nigga out here.
Yes. Good.
Look, I just look. It's a quick search. Boop boop boop. Oh shit, I found it. Boop boop boop. Nothing there. Oh wow. I just be curious.
You take my Johnson. Boo boo boo.
Ba 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 ba.
I'm loving it.
Sometimes I be curious. Shit, nigga, what the fuck?
I'm not knocking your hustle, my nigga.
I want, but I'm not paying for it.
But I just want better for you.
I mean, don't we all want better for ourselves?
I'm cool with myself, but I just want better for you.
Oh wow.
I don't need you to go on Reddit and Tumblr and like the dark web.
Well,
yo,
no,
you
no,
gonna
no.
end up on the dark web one day. You gonna click some shit like yo, you need a liver, my nigga.
I mean, I'll take a liver.
Yo, I got some 2020 eyeballs for you.
I definitely should probably invest in liver.
Yeah, you should actually. Like,
So I should be on the dark web looking for livers.
if they could sew another one, like a third one on to you, that's like just for liquor.
Yeah.
You could take that one.
Yeah, see? That might be a good thing.
See, G moving on shit to like detect the bullshit.
All I'm saying, it's not my go-to. All right, I want to throw that out there.
All right,
It is
so
not the go-to.
At this part, Hesh was nasty.
I do want to throw it. It's not the go-to.
This is the part where he was talking about rabbit season.
Never once did I say no about no rabbits. Not once did Nick say nothing about
You know
no
what
rabbits.
nigga stupid?
My
Like,
chest.
I just probably don't want to talk about. You know what white chicks talk about their snow bunny, but they'll fuck with niggas.
He got it.
I mean, yeah.
How? How?
Nobody does. Nobody. Woo-hoo.
How you a snow bunny?
I thought Snow Bunny was
just
just
white
was
chicks?
just some shit we call white chicks.
No, it's
Snowflake, snow bunnies.
it's white chicks that fuck with black dudes.
I thought that was just never mind.
What more shirts?
Thought that was just black.
Oh,
Again, it's not my go-to. I just want to throw that out there. I need people to know. It's not my go-to. The Reddit is not the go-to. But it is just there in case I get curious.
All right, so
Hella fuck.
comic book commentary by Coloreds.
You.
Okay,
Movie
so
reviews for me, you, and your mama,
and
too.
your cousin.
one of these days I gotta make like a collage of all the sub shit we be talking about.
That's just the whole episode. That's the episode of just the random shit.
That'll be like 2 hours worth of shit.
We should just do an episode of random shit. We should just come in no topics one day and just see what happens.
Oh, guarantee you Christmas time, nigga.
This is
The year wrap up.
Year
it's
wrap
about to
up
be
is
some
gonna
year-
be new fucking comic book talk.
Oh shit.
It's gonna be the flagrant shit. Let's see. Now on to some DC Universe Marvel shit. Henry Cavill was not in Superman uniform in Shazam. I think we all knew that.
Yeah, we knew that already.
I was hoping.
Oh, no, I knew. I knew. I think they said it.
They would have showed his face. You could find a buff white nigga anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, there's a way you could use that for like something to come.
Yeah.
But when they showed the nigga, I was like, okay, yeah,
but
Henry's done with this shit.
But I thought if it was Henry Cavill, they would have showed his face to add some type of excitement to the forthcoming.
I think it was more
movies.
of an effect doing it that way.
Well, no, they only didn't show his face because they couldn't show his face because it wasn't him. But they wanted to put Superman in there because they to show you that it's the same universe.
Yeah, exactly.
But they can't show this nigga face because that nigga
Could at least have this nigga walk in and just
They did, but that
would have been dope. But obviously because
he's not Superman. No more.
Obviously because they fucking peanuts them. They didn't fucking.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't him.
Yeah, me too.
But let's see. Now there's a rumor going around that DC Comics may introduce a black Batman.
Oh, these white people about to be mad.
Now, Black Robin, I can see.
They already have one too, I think, actually.
Black Batman, that's going to be a tough sell, my nigga. Not to the African American community, but, to the rest. Black Batman might be a stretch for a lot of people. Because, we've seen iterations of, Superman, we've seen Catwoman, we've seen fucking Martian Manhunter, we've seen Green Lantern, we've seen all, the black iterations of that. Batman is something that has remained untouched and white since the beginning, since ever. So now to introduce maybe a black Batman, I think y'all going a little too far. Yeah. I would want to see a black Batman. I would want to see the storyline that they present, but I would like to start with a black. I would have thought that Batman. There
it is.
I would have thought that Batman would have picked up a Black Robin before.
He does.
When? Who?
I forgot to do it. There's literally a young gentleman who's black and he's like a Robin-esque character. He's in like Robin.
Robin-esque.
Nah, because he's not like
His
Robin.
name like Crow or some shit.
Who, Batwing? Crow.
It's not even Batwing. It's some other nigga. I forgot. He wears like a yellow coat. Damn, I cannot remember this off the top of my head. But there is a black Robin.
Azrael?
No, I can't remember the nigga.
Metrium Zenthos?
There's a black dude named Azrael.
No, that's not him either. No, I'm telling you, it's like a dude. He's like a Robin, but he's not he's not Robin, but he is a Robin, and he's black.
Okay,
I feel like his name is like Duke or some shit like that. Duke Wellington, Duke Silver.
But how do y'all feel about Black Batman?
Oh, I'm here for the shits because I want all these niggas to stop being so fucking racist. Let the nigga be black. Let him be black.
Well, why not? So
throw a ninja star nigga eye, go hook y'all nigga.
So the whole thing is why do they keep repurposing old superheroes instead of creating new ones?
Yeah. I mean that's so. I guess I don't know how they're gonna implement this, right? So is it just like a what if version of Batman where he just happens to be black, or is it like a Batman-esque type of character, or is it like Batman in like Detroit? So it's like this is Detroit's Batman, so he happens to be black or whatever the fuck. Like I see how it's actually implemented. But I'm okay with the idea of it. I'm
cool with a
Batman could be any color. Damn near every superhero can be any color.
Yeah, but
there's very few superheroes.
The main thing is the generational wealth.
That's an issue.
Going back, so how do you implement
that? If you want to make that an issue, that has to be an issue. Or you could just be like, hey, this nigga's rich and keep it moving.
Well, the only one that got his 40 acres of mule? That was the only one?
He got his reparations.
Yeah, he got his reparations.
Yeah. Or you could just ignore that whole aspect of everything completely. Because I mean, there's stories.
Wait, look. Oh, nah, can't be Lucius Fox's son. Never mind.
Could it?
Yeah. He's a bad character.
But he's Batwing though.
He's
that's
Batwing.
why I was like,
that's what I'm
can't
saying.
be him.
No, but I'm just saying like, in terms of like the actual Batman, like Bruce Wayne version of Batman, I'm sure there have been stories where they've delved into like the history of Bruce's family for things. I think like Quarter Owls had some shit to do with like his grandfather type of shit or great grandfather type of shit. But like if you were to just not tell stories like that, you could literally just be like, here's a rich kid and his parents were murdered in front of him and he decided like, I like bats and dress up and
I like bats
and happened to be black and then throw ninja stars in nigga's face and then finds a little white kid who's in the circus and his parents died and he's like, oh shit, you're gonna be like a bird themed nigga, we're gonna go ahead and fight clowns and question mark niggas and then keep it moving. Like nothing about that has to do with the color of his skin if you don't want it to be.
Okay.
Yeah. So right. Shout out to black.
Shout out to black
man.
So speaking of mans, Method Man puts his name in the hat to play Bishop. Now, Method Man being my favorite rapper and one of my favorite people, I'm all with the shits. He's been kind of campaigning with this for a while now. This is like going back like months and months and months in advance because Method Man's been working out. He been in the gym heavy. You know, Bishop got an M on his face.
Yeah.
You know,
Put a meth on his face.
yeah, put just big ass M on his face. Now, Method Man playing Bishop, I don't know how I feel about it, but you know, if he can pull it off, I'm with it. You know, I'm not putting anything past Meth. Like I said, it's one of my favorite people ever. So I'm kind of biased. So I don't know if I could talk about this without, you know, saying, yeah, hell yeah, Meth is Bishop.
I mean, yeah.
Hell yeah.
As long as they let him do a better job than they did the last Bishop, I can't even
That
be too mad at
nigga
him.
was trash. What?
I can.
I'll be back.
What the hell you do?
Spilled my liquor.
Oh, okay.
I almost got it with my headphones. That would have been bad on camera.
I don't even know how the fuck he did that. Oh shit! I forgot.
Bishop?
Yeah. So as long as he do better than the fucking, I mean, even though I don't even know if that dude was a bad actor or not. He had
He
like
didn't do shit.
Yeah, he was in the movie for like 2 minutes. So if they give him like a chance to do something more than 2 minutes worth of work, I'm like, fuck it. I mean, only movie I ever really seen Meth in was How High, and that's not necessarily like a.
He was in more than that.
The only thing I really remember seeing him in, I guess he was in The Wire too.
Yeah.
Meth was in mad TV shows.
Yeah.
He's not like my favorite actor in the world.
No, he's not my favorite actor, but you know,
I can't be mad at it.
like I said, I'm biased.
It's like whatever, nigga. Like as long as you better than get to do more than the other dude, I might.
think anybody can be better than that dude.
And he might have been good if they had gave him a chance to do some shit.
Yeah, didn't he have an accent?
I don't even
Like
remember.
a British accent or
I
something?
don't think he had a
Something
British
like
accent. He was in the movie for 3 minutes and then he was dead. So
I think that nigga had a British accent. I was like, what is these fake ass dreads? He said it fucking
yeah.
Sideshow Bob.
Let Meth do it.
What the fuck is this?
I just got one question.
Yeah.
Who gonna play
Red
Red
Man.
Man?
I really wish this shit was popping when that happened.
Put on the shirt.
Nigga.
Yeah, that's dope.
I will be making so much money.
That was a dumb question though, but you know, it is what it is.
It wasn't. If you think about it, it's just the way that it's. I understand. Like
I understand.
yeah, I
why,
understand
yeah.
it. I just think the way it happened, the sequence of events. Like if it was just like
Yeah.
like because the way because he has a habit of like just shifting his conversation mid thought. I think, and that's what happened. He was just like.
Bobby has a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, I know. So like, I get what I actually understand. What he really meant was like,
That shit was so quick. I was just like,
yeah, like he just like shifted from the one thing to the other thing. So it seemed like he was like, oh, nah, I'm part of Wu Tang. He's in Wu
video
Tang.
that has got the most hits is that one.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
What is it?
That shit got like 4,000 views on it. And that's from people searching like the Wu Tang shit.
It did?
And then they see the fucking thumbnail, like, oh shit. And then they click on it, then you say that dumb shit, then they click right off. so like the average watch time on that shit is like 18 seconds.
Oh,
Like, yo, what the fuck is this nigga, young ass nigga talking about? We gonna play Red Man. Red Man and this fuck Wu Tang.
and click. Oh, what?
Like,
Oh, click.
little do you know, this nigga's 30 something.
no. I'm telling you, if that nigga show up in the series, you ain't gonna never hear the end of it. If he show up in that series, you ain't never gonna hear the end of it.
Yo, listen, we all got a dumb question.
My whole life is a dumb question, nigga.
Ain't that Liberian?
No. Listen, Linda, listen. I stand by that.
Okay, so there's Liberia
Yeah, Libya.
and there's Libya.
I didn't know about Liberia. And then what do you call
Libyan people.
Yeah.
But what do you call people from Libya?
Liberian.
That's confusing as shit, dog.
I know.
Librarian is somebody that works with books. You got to add an extra R after
Yeah.
it. So it's LIBR.
So it's not library?
Librarian. Librarian.
Library.
Yes, that's a person from Liberia.
Nigga being lazy.
Library.
You know what? But also the word.
That's a place with books.
Library.
It's a place with books.
Library.
Liberia what?
Library.
In?
Just
Liberia.
Like a library.
I mean, if you want to say it like that, you can say library.
So it's library.
It's always been library.
Since when?
How do you spell library?
library. Library.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
And fuck you, cereal. This is have my back, nigga. Oh shit.
So, Sony chief says the door is closed on Spider-Man MCU, stating, quote, Spider-Man was fine before the event movies. Spidey will do fine outside of the MCU.
Really
Kevin Feige didn't do all the work.
I don't believe
Sony has 5 to 6 TV products in the works set in the Spider-Man universe.
Why?
That confuses me.
Facts.
So they're doing the Hunter dude.
Oh, Craven
the Hunter.
See.
They're doing Venom.
See.
Morbius. Okay.
That's all I know.
3.
Black Cat?
They were talking about doing Black Cat and Sable.
Silver Sable?
They're gonna do Black Cat and Silver Sable.
Sable?
They're gonna be in the same movie together.
What the fuck?
I don't know if they're still doing that. They were talking about that. I don't know if that's still going on, but they were.
I don't know.
Because they have the characters and they need something to fill up the space.
But they have
That's it.
at some point.
Literally just to fill up space.
Okay, so you know how we had this whole Venom movie and Venom is contingent on Spider-Man getting the suit first and then okay, cool. So isn't Black Cat doesn't she have to interact with Spider-Man, become a love interest at some point and then they start dating and shit?
Well, I guess now they can do that.
So okay, so Silver Sable, where the fuck does she come in?
She is Zendaya's sister.
So but Mary okay. My hair.
Yeah. Or she's Ned's cousin.
And Ned's cousin?
Yeah, I'm lying, nigga. I'm just saying. I'm just saying how we work it in. I don't know, nigga. How it worked that fucking Tom Hardy is 45 years old and Tom Holland is fucking 12. And they interact somehow.
Well, they can. You know, you work at the Daily Bugle or whatever.
Niggas
I don't even know how that's
newspapers no
gonna
more.
work, but-
Niggas don't believe in newspapers.
Yeah, but it could be an internet place.
And also, wasn't this nigga like a
podcaster?
Yeah, type of nigga.
Yeah, well, you know, if you read the Spider-Man
Alex Jones
Ultimate,
ass nigga.
if you read the Spider-Man Ultimate comics, they updated that. Peter was like working on the internet and shit.
He wasn't like a photographer no more.
Nah, he was working on the internet. Yeah, so they got to update it. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Yeah,
lies.
I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do 5 to 6. Yeah, you drank all that.
We drink all that.
Nah, nigga, it was yours.
I feel like it was me.
It was. I had 2 drinks.
I don't think Bobby had more than 1 cup.
He did not.
Nah.
I had 2. I'm probably gonna have a third now that I'm looking at it.
I think we should do this every month. Just have a bottle and just finish it.
No.
No. I mean, like over time.
I know, no. Because the last time I was drunk.
No, you can cut yourself off, grown man.
Oh.
But you know, we should do this. I mean, G was nice enough to give us this old aged bottle of brandy. Shout out to G. I'm only saying that shit because I spilled some on your carpet. I apologize.
I can't stand this thing.
Not paying you extra.
I bring the steam cleaner myself.
I know, right?
I gotta vacuum at home. Nigga, I'll be right back.
Word. So, door closed on Spidey.
It sucks.
It sucks. So
And,
you know this is indefinitely until we hear otherwise.
Yeah.
So how do we feel about
This nigga capping. He's like, oh, like we don't need fucking this nigga. No, nigga, you needed this nigga. I mean, you don't. Okay, you didn't need him because obviously they had movies and they were successful without.
Has Kevin
them.
Feige he made a statement?
No, the only statement he made was
during
you know,
D23 or some shit.
this wasn't meant to last forever.
Yeah, because he got to say that shit.
But wasn't meant to last forever. But the way you end Homecoming, no, Far From Home. I'm
He
sorry.
didn't mean it, nigga. You know, sometimes you got a lot of bitches. Nigga. We the bitches. He had a lot of us. He had a lot of us.
Say we the bitches.
Yeah, he's fucking. He's like, damn, we really was planning on having Spider-Man for at least 7. It was like talking about like at least 7 films.
Yeah.
In the MCU, and they did what 2, 3?
But still, man, that's fucked up, man. All right, but Sony, balls in your court. Let's see what the fuck y'all do with it.
Yeah, I don't want the movies to be bad, so hopefully they do make good movies. But
hopefully on like, what are you basing this off of?
nigga, I need to have faith in something once in my life.
Have faith in this.
I just didn't like how there was pinning Disney to be out this greedy company, which I guess is fair. But
Oh, no, they definitely
Sony
are.
is just as greedy. You remember them email leaks?
Oh yeah, no, everybody greedy, nigga.
Everybody's greedy. Everybody's racist. Everybody's anti-Semitic. Everybody's homophobic when it comes to Hollywood. They don't like you niggers. They don't like you gays. They don't like you Jews. They don't like a lot of people. So that's
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know why they got rid of Andrew Garfield?
I heard something on it, but I don't fucking remember.
Because he's like gay? Is that what it was? Or
No. It was
something stupid.
It was some. What was it?
He was supposed to do an announcement in Brazil to announce Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 3, but he didn't show up because he was sick. That's why he got fired.
Because he was sick?
That's why he got fired. That's what came from the league emails.
That's not what I heard. Okay, cool. That's fucked up.
That's lit. Don't get sick, man.
I just gotta.
Don't get sick.
So
we had one job, nigga.
So we done with topics?
Yeah.
All right. So quick things. Matrix could start shooting as early next year. Mahershala Ali is up for the role of Jim Gordon in the most over discussed Batman movie ever. Joker wins Venice Film Award for Best Movie. Are we really giving Joker this?
If it's good, it's good, nigga. I don't know. I just don't want all this hype because when I see it and it's not as good, I'm gonna be like, y'all niggas lied to me.
Yeah. It too was almost split into two separate films. That shit's almost 3 hours long. I was gonna go see that shit, but then I saw it was 3 hours. I was like, fuck that.
I ain't even watched the first one, so I ain't watching this.
You pussy. So DC Black Batman, but he probably won't be Bruce Wayne.
Okay, so he won't be Bruce. Yeah, of course. That's what I figured. He's be like Leroy McKelvey.
Leroy McKelvey. That is
blackest name I could think at the time, off the top of my head.
Tom Holland repeats.
Or Daquan.
Daquan.
Tom Holland repeats that there needs to be a gay Spider-Man at some point. Y'all gonna run this gay shit.
Sure.
Y'all gonna run this gay shit into the ground, my nigga.
Spider-Man can't be gay? Yeah. Never mind. Damn.
Just make a new character.
Okay, so if we're going on statistics, so 1 out of 5 people is gay, right? Why is your mic way over there?
Because he
I almost said some wild shit. I had to stop myself.
So 1 out of 5 people is gay. So wouldn't that apply to
Spider-Man?
The superheroes? No, not Spider. Wouldn't that apply to superheroes as well?
You would think that. Yes, you would think that.
Okay. So HBO's Watchmen series to debut on October the 20th. Let's see. All right. So that's it for Hesh. You want to walk again? If you want to walk again,
No, I'm good.
It's all cool. You want to swoosh like the rest of us?
You want to fly like the rest of us?
You better act right.
You're right.
All right. So I guess that's it for topics. So we got an interview that's going to go right here. Interview from Comic Book Art. Yeah, I did an interview while I wasn't here.
No, okay, cool.
Okay, cool. So as you
I was like, wait, we talked to somebody? I swear I ain't drunk. I swear I'm not drunk. I was like, yo, did we just have a whole conversation?
No, but one of the episodes that we did in the past 3 weeks, he was supposed to call in.
He was talking about that, but he got the days wrong or something.
Yeah, he got the days wrong. So I'll talk to him on Labor Day. Got to get this working. So this is a conversation with me talking to comic book artist and author Ben Bishop. He's working on a comic called Drawing Blood, and he's also done some comics for the IDW run of TMNT.
All right.
So you can go ahead and check that interview right now. All right, so Three Ninjas Podcast, Domino, Hess, Jones, Bobby. And just a quick note to the listeners, if you do not hear Hess or Bobby, it's because they're not here. All right. So we've had to reschedule this interview maybe twice already. So I figured I'd just come here to the studio, get it done, and just be over with it. So right now we have in the dojo, we have an artist writer who also had a Kickstarter for his book Drawing Blood Volume 2 with Kevin Eastman and David Avalone. Or is it Avalone or Avalone?
I say Avalone. I think he told me once that Stallone ruined the way that people say his name, and so I think the real way is Avalone.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, David. So David Avalone, and it's called Drawing Blood Volume 2. This is the artist of said book, and he's also a writer as well. We have Ben Bishop on the line. Ben, how are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. Now, like I said, we had to reschedule this interview once or twice, minor miscommunications, but shit happens. You had to do stuff with the wife. I believe me, I get it. All right.
Now, this whole month of August had been insane because of the Kickstarter that we were running. Anyone that's ever at least run one well, knows it's like a constant barrage of social mediaing, replying to questions, and my brain is just mush. I took the last 2 days, because it just ended 2 days ago. I just took the last 2 days just away from the phone, essentially. And so our first miscommunication is I put you in on the wrong day.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, shit happens. You have a lot on your plate, so I expect things like that to happen, but finally got you on the show, so I'm happy with that. So, you said that the Kickstarter ended 2 days ago. Now, the Kickstarter had been going for the whole month of August?
Yeah, we started August 1st to kickstart Drawing Blood Volume 2, which is the second book thus far in the book I'm doing with Kevin Eastman and David Avalone. And we had a goal of $75,000, and if we would reach that goal, then we can make our book, which is essentially a 4-chapter book, or like 4 comic book issues in one trade paperback. And so we hit that goal. We hit it on like the second day, I think, raised $75,000 in 2 days, and then it went on to end on the 31st at $122,000, which was absolutely amazing. So we unlocked a bunch of stretch goals, and the book's bigger and better, and obviously got this whole batch of new fans and readers, which is great, all in 1 month.
That's amazing, man. So now, what is Drawing Blood? What is this book about?
Cool. Yeah, so I like to say Kevin and David have like a much larger pitch, because they're the co-creators of it, and they say, they say things like, it's got the tone of Breaking Bad, but it's kind of like meets Amadeus, and like they have all these long-winded ways of saying what I usually distill it down to, which is when I'm at conventions and stuff, I hold the book up and I say, Drawing Blood is like the fictional true story of how the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were created, but instead of Kevin Eastman, it's this guy Shane Bookman, and instead of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he created the radically rearranged Ronin ragdolls.
Right.
Samurai. Yeah, they're samurai cats who eat sushi, and they're named after famous anime directors Miyazaki, Tezuka, and Otomo, rather than famous Renaissance painters.
Right.
So a lot of it takes place now with this character Shane Bookman, and the whole idea is like it's sprinkled with truths and like funny stories or sad stories or just real life stories that did happen to Kevin, because you got to imagine he was like 27 years old when the Turtles hit big. And so like, what would you do with all that success at such a young age? And he's got insane stories. He bought the freaking tank from Red Dawn, and he owned a tank. He had a Batmobile. He was married to an adult film star for a long time. He lost a lot of money.
I did not know this shit.
Yeah, the list goes on. And so that's why we're doing the book, is to kind of tell these stories in a tongue-in-cheek kind of way, but at the same time sprinkle in enough stuff that's not true that it keeps the audience guessing and they don't think, this is an autobiographical thing. Like, we've got Lithuanian gangsters and gunfights and car chases and stuff like that. And, to my knowledge, that whole aspect of it didn't happen, par for par. But what did happen is, like, he started a publishing company called Tundra Publishing, and he lost a lot of money on it because he was hiring friends and people he trusted that, screwed him over. And so there's bits and pieces of that in different characters of the story. And so Drawing Blood takes place now, and it's like after all that stuff, when this character, Shane Bookman, is trying to kind of pick up the pieces and find that creativity again, find that inspiration and why he got into this stuff in the first place. So it may be a fool's errand, but his current project in the book, Shane Bookman, is he's putting on a Broadway musical of the famous silent film Metropolis, which is like funny in and of itself, just saying a musical of that. And so throughout all that, he's running from gangsters. He's dealing with, a dead business partner who owed money to the mob. And then in one of maybe the most interesting and fun parts of the book is he's also haunted by his creations, those radically rearranged Ronin ragdolls. He has these like hallucinations. He hasn't put pencil to the page in years because he just like can't find that spark again. And what happens is we go into these hallucination type sequences that are all drawn by a different artist. They're drawn by this guy, Troy Little, who did the comic book adaptation of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with Hunter S. Thompson. And so you can imagine why he's like perfect for these hallucinations. And the cats literally like, they talk to him, they punch him in the face, they say, "Why did you abandon us?" Yada, yada, yada. And so it's like, it's emotional because you know, that's him talking to himself. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like fun because they're just ninja cats that are kicking his ass and trying to like pep talk him and give him that tough love to get back to the drawing table.
Okay, now how do you become involved with this book?
Yeah, it's crazy. So I do covers and a little bit of interior stuff for Ninja Turtles, but what actually brought Kevin and I together was unrelated to Turtles, which is so wild because I was already doing a little bit of that, and obviously Kevin is big in that world still with the Ninja Turtle comic books through IDW. What happened was I'm a self-publisher. I've always been inspired by guys who were just making their own thing, and they just were like, yeah, I'd rather sell 3,000 copies, do it my way, and get 100% of the profits than, you know, wait for some publisher to tell me I'm good enough. So I've been self-publishing since I was 18. Recently, a couple of years ago anyway, I did this book called The Aggregate, which is the world's first split decision comic. And Split Decision is a company I created so I could tell comic book stories, but like an old choose your own adventure book. Like it had never been done before in comics. So in my book, The Aggregate, there's 4 beginnings, 7 endings, 20 choices in between. And you can reread that same book like 100 different ways. And you can die in the book. There's giant robots. There's spider cats. It's a ton of fun. So anyway, that book got in front of Kevin because I asked him and Peter Laird, actually, the other co-creator of the Ninja Turtles, for some quotes for the back of the book, you know, like, hey, Ben's not too bad. You should check this out or something like that. And Pete actually got back to me, and Kevin didn't in time for printing anyway. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just move along and, you know, print the book up. And then I printed it, and I had sent a few copies to IDW, the company that publishes the Turtles, and they just had them out like on their coffee table. And I guess Kevin was there one day because IDW is in San Diego, and that's where Kevin's at these days. And he just grabbed one of them, and he had one of them, and he was flipping through it, and he was meeting with David, and they were talking about drawing blood. And they were like, so have we found an artist yet? And I think it was Kevin's wife, Courtney, was like, why don't you have Ben do it? And she like pointed at the book, and he was like, oh, that'd be great because I live in Maine, and Kevin's actually from Maine. Ninja Turtles are from Maine. I never knew that as a kid. I know it now, but like,
wow.
So he was like, oh, that is perfect. Yeah. And so one night I was at a convention in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I was just having some beers after the show, and it was like a mediocre day. People were asking me all day, like, you going to do more turtle stuff? You going to do more turtle stuff? And I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe. They haven't asked me for any. And so I wasn't down in the dumps or anything, but all of a sudden I get this email from Kevin, and we'd met once before, and he's like, hey Ben, Kevin Eastman here. I have The Aggregate. It's fucking awesome. He's like, what are you doing for the next year?
Right.
You want to do a book? And I was like, hell yeah. And his number was in there, so I gave him a call, and we ended up talking for like 2 hours that night about drawing blood and how he wanted to do it. I think I might have suggested Kickstarter because I was kickstarting all my books, and I was like, dude, I'll run it, and I guarantee you we'll do it wild. And then it all kind of came together.
Yeah, that's dope. Now, being that you were self-published since you were 18, where did you get the wherewithal to, I guess, go through the regular wear and tear of like an artist? Like, I'm going to keep drawing, and then hopefully somebody looks at my drawing and picks it up. What makes you want to be self-published at 18? Because that's not cheap. Yeah, no, you gotta, I mean, at 18, the way I did it, you know, Kickstarter, if they were around, no one knew about them, but I did it kind of the poor man's Kickstarter. I did it all through Facebook. So like when my first book was a 300-page graphic novel called Nathan the Caveman. And it was basically about why people make art. And the whole idea was the same that it was. That was in 2008, right? Yeah, it came out in 2008. And I was like, the reasons that we make art are simply because you had to. So I knew I was going to be doing this anyway. And it was just like, I'm not going to, spend 4 years making a book, which is what it took.
just to like sit on it and wait for a publisher to be into it. Like I'm not going to let them decide that it's good enough. And so what I did was I was on Facebook and I was just counting down the pages. I was like 290, 291, 92, 93. And so by the time I got to, the book is done, I'm taking pre-orders. Like there was a lot of interest just from friends and stuff. And I was able to take pre-orders on 100 books, which paid for the first 100 copies and then allowed me enough to print like 100 more copies or something like that. Like if I could pre-sale 100, I could order 200 kind of thing. And I did that for a couple of years, just pre-sales. It's like the window's closed. So kind of the poor man's Kickstarter. But anyway, I would still like hope that those publishers would want it. At the time I was really interested in this company, Top Shelf Comics, really like the stuff they were doing. And I was writing to Marvel. I wrote to Marvel the first time when I was 11 years old, 1997, asked for a job, sent them some samples. They wrote me back, told me to graduate high school. I wasn't old enough for a job yet. So like I always wanted that stuff too, but I wasn't going to let it, stop me right in my tracks, which I see so often with people making stuff, especially just writers, not even just artists. They're like, yeah, I'm a writer. And I'm like, well, what have you written? And they're like, well, nothing. I just could. And I'm like, well, you're not a writer. Like, write it and get it out, get someone to draw you a cover or something and put out a book of poems. I don't know, whatever you got. So, I mean, it wasn't always the end goal to only self-publish. Even with the aggregate, I was like, I'll kickstart this. I'll make a lot of fans. I'll make the money that I need to actually produce this thing and print it and ship it. And then once it's printed and shipped, maybe a publisher will see it and then they'll want to reprint it, better and, and give me a wider distribution and actually be in comic stores and stuff like that. And so that's always there too. But we're having a lot of fun. I mean, I am having a lot of fun personally, like I said, selling everything myself, doing it 100% myself. And we're doing the same thing with Drawing Blood. We kickstarted Volume 1, which is the first 4 issues. And then once those are done, we re-released them as issues, like as single issues. So we broke it up and re-released them worldwide at comic book stores. And then once issue 4 just landed during our Kickstarter in August, now we're doing the Kickstarter for the next one. We're going to keep doing it like that as far as I know.
Okay. So you do Nathan the Caveman in 2008. The aggregate comes out in 2009. It's kind of like a post-apocalypse sci-fi Mad Max kind of book. Now the good thing about it is that it's choice-based, which you said is like the first of its kind. So how do you feel about Bandersnatched, stuff like that?
So it was actually, I did, Nathan Caveman finished in 2008, that came out. And then it led to other books. I got this big book called Lost Trail, which is read in all the Maine schools now. It's like a famous retelling of this Maine story, Lost on a Mountain in Maine. And so because of those 2 books, things kind of like snowballing. And then I got into doing more turtle stuff, and it's starting to rain. I don't know if that's loud. But when I got to doing aggregate, I was like, all right, this is going to be, the first of its kind. And I trademarked everything the right way with Split Decision Comics. And I even trademarked Split Decision TV because I was like, we're watching Netflix. We already have the remotes in our hands. I'm like, people are ready to, make decisions. Instead of it saying, are you still watching Breaking Bad? It could say, what do you want Walt to do? And so I do the whole book, and I actually know some people at Netflix, and they're backers of the book. And then, to your point, Bandersnatch, a few years later, all of a sudden there's this Black Mirror, they call it interactive TV, which is not as good of a name as Split Decision TV. But I'm like, oh man, and I'm not so egotistical that I'm the only one who ever had that idea. But I did want to be like the first to execute it. And it didn't take me long. It didn't take me long to realize, well, maybe what's the upside here? What's the positive that somebody, in this case, Black Mirror and Netflix, beat me to the punch as far as like, Split Decision TV where you get to choose what happens. And the upside is, if they see that it works and people are into it, they're going to be looking for more stuff. And I've got content that's ready to go. You know what I mean? So it's not the end of the world to just not be first. It's like, I'm just going to focus on doing it better than anyone else.
Okay.
As much as I.
Right.
So.
Now, you went to school for art, correct?
I attempted to. The reason I'm in Maine, actually, I moved from New Hampshire in 2004 to go to Maine College of Art to try and, get the degree that we're of the generation where everyone thinks you need to go to college, otherwise you're a loser.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was, I guess I got to go to college. And honestly, at that time, illustration wasn't even a major at that school or at most schools. Like, they just didn't think it was all painting, it was jewelry, it was furniture. And so I went for 1 year and I loved it. Everything was art. I was getting awesome grades for the first time in my life because there was no math, there was no gym, nothing athletic. I was just drawing, and I was like, yeah, this is all I ever, like, I figured out in high school, I was like, well, I only need to do this well on my SATs to get into art school.
Right.
So that's what I did. I was like, I just got to get out of high school, and then I'm in a school where all I have to do is draw. So I loved it, met a lot of friends, obviously fell in love with Portland, Maine, which is where I still live now. But it was like the first week of school of my sophomore year, what would have been my second year. And I got called down to the office and they were like, hey, Ben, we're really sorry, but you can't go to school here anymore. And I was like, what happened? Why? And I just didn't have enough money. My loans didn't go through. And at the time, neither of my parents could or would co-sign for me on my loans. And so literally that morning I was in school and thought I had a plan. And then that afternoon I wasn't. I was walking around town and really didn't even have a reason to be in Portland anymore. Other than the fact that, I had an apartment and a lease and I loved it and I wanted to stay. So what I decided, honestly, that day, this isn't just like some funny story. I was just like, you know what, if I want to make comics, why don't I just make comics? And so I got serious about finishing that book, Nathan the Caveman, because I already had sketches and ideas and stuff. And then I just hunkered away for 3.5 more years on it until it was done. And I was like, I'm not going to get anywhere unless I finish something big and, do it to the best of my ability, and maybe somebody will see it and then they'll want me to do something for them. And I kept doing books like that, or projects like that. Some of them were short, some of them were longer, but the whole idea was this is going to get out in front of a decent sized batch of people, and an opportunity will present itself. And that's exactly how every single thing I've done has led to something. Like I told you, the only reason I'm with Kevin is because I finished the aggregate and it was on a coffee table at IDW. And it's like that's how everything happens. It's Field of Dreams shit, man. It's like, if you build it, they will come.
Right. Now, I'm glad you said that, because what I'm a big proponent on is I don't think you necessarily need a piece of paper or a degree to tell you, or a teacher to tell you hey, you're good at what you do, or you're certified, and I guess in this profession for you to get jobs or whatever. Now, in your specific profession, do you think that you need to go to school? Do you think that you need that, I guess, assurance from a university or a college to say hey, you're certified or you're good at what you do?
No, absolutely not. No one's ever asked for that sheet of paper. Nobody ever will. And I don't know anyone who has ever been asked for it. Obviously, that's very comic book specific, but I think it's specific to a lot of the arts. No one's asking painters for that shit. You know what I mean? No one's asking metalsmithers and furniture makers for their degree. They're looking at the work. That being said, if you want to do 3D, motion graphics, effects work on the next Avengers movie or something, you need to learn those programs, and you need to be in the places where those companies hire from. I found out after, I attempted and ended up dropping out. I found out after there's specific schools that specific companies will pick people from. So just literally being in that building, for 4 years might help you. Not necessarily the degree, but Marvel used to do portfolio reviews at Savannah College of Art and Design, and they would just, if they saw someone they liked that they thought was ready, they would literally pull them out of school.
Wow.
And then, yeah, and I know that with Pixar, I believe the school they pick out from is Cal Arts in California, and then there's one in Florida. It might be Full Sail. I can't remember that. James Cameron's company that did Avatar and shit, they pull from that school. And so if you know where to be, you can kind of trick that right place, right time kind of thing. But at the same time, if you need to learn, discipline as far as deadlines and, I need someone to give me an assignment, or, I'm not really self-driven. Like that's a red flag to begin with, but I think you can learn that in school. And so maybe that's really good for some people. Or specific skills. Like if I needed to work on figure drawing and anatomy and stuff, I would go to figure drawing classes. I would look at real people and draw them from life. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. I'm not downplaying that at all, but the significance of the piece of paper, it's called the Bachelor of Fine Arts that you get specifically for comic books. I don't think you'll ever be asked about that.
Yeah, that's the same thing I was thinking, because a lot of people that I know that do music or art, they're more so self-taught, and anyone that does 3D modeling, they usually like get the program and it's just trial and error at home on their own. So they find a way to get the money, they buy the program, they get the computer, they get the specs that they need, and they just practice at home. Going to
and there's classes online, that teach you that stuff too. But again, if you want the group dynamic and the whole aesthetic and lifestyle of living around other people who are struggling and learning, and you want to learn from them, like there's no doubt it's great life experience. You'll meet lots of friends and stuff, but is it worth $32,000 a year and then decades of debt? I don't know. I only went for 1 year and I'm still paying it.
Wow. That's crazy. Now, what drew you to art initially?
It's funny. It's Ninja Turtles, which is crazy because now I get to draw them. But
look at the foresight on that shit.
Yeah. Ninja Turtles and things like Ninja Turtles, specifically like properties that, were either comics or shows, and then they became, toy lines and cartoons and underwear. And, I love that stuff. I love for characters or teams of characters like the X-Men, Spider-Man, whatever, to just blow up and like be like a worldwide thing that everyone knows about. Like that's like, I want that. I think I want that. Who knows what it'll be like when I get it? It might be like Drawing Blood or something where I'm just like, holy crap, what a life I've had. But like I was always fascinated by that even as a kid. I would wake up on Saturday mornings and I'd be like eating cereal out of a box that had Ninja Turtles on it, watching Ninja Turtles while playing with the Ninja Turtles toys and drawing Ninja Turtles. And so like I always wanted my own characters. I always had my own stories. And comics were like the one thing out of all those things, like I'm not going to make cereal, or I can't make toys on my own. I can't make animation by myself. It's a team, but comics you can do on your own.
Right.
And so comics were a way for me to get out not only the art, but the story. And then I could, print it and self-distribute it and get it to my friends and, and see what that led to once it was out. And so it really started with characters and story. And then it went to like, what's the most realistic way I can get these characters and stories to life, and that was comic books.
Okay. Now, who's your favorite turtle?
I grew up loving Mikey like most kids because he's the wild one. But then I grew into Leo. I really grew into Leo. I like the leader characters. The most unpopular opinion, I think, is I always loved Cyclops. I didn't like Wolverine. No one really liked Cyclops, but I always thought that was a crazy position. You didn't like him because he's the one who is like following the rules and has to keep things on track. But like
he seems stiff.
He does seem stiff, but Leo does too.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's total badass. Like he's holding back most of the time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason he's the leader, and we might not see that when he's like yelling at Raph or something. But like, there's a reason he's the leader, and it's not just because everyone else is unfit to be leader. It's because he's like incredibly fit to be the leader. As far as who I like drawing best, it goes back and forth. Recently, it's been Raphael because Raphael is actually the first story I got to do for Turtles where I got to do more than just the cover. After Drawing Blood, like the moment Drawing Blood ended, Kevin Eastman and we did this 48-page long Raphael story called Target R, which was essentially Kevin's love letter to Weapon X. And basically, like, Raph is poked and prodded and, tortured and pushed to his limits. They take his belts, they take his weapons, they take his bandana. And that was my idea because he was going to be, without his bandana, that whole story. It was my idea. I was like, what if we get him so juiced up and so full of rage that his eyes turn red, and then we don't need the bandana. So that's the first comic where his eyes ever turn red, and he just like totally rages out and like beats the hell out of people for 48 pages. And so I like drawing him a lot. Yeah. And Donnie's a lot of fun to draw too, though, because I always can give him wild tech. Recently I've been giving him like these big robot arms like that he's made, you know, kind of like that mech suit arm things. And so he's a lot of fun. Leo is one of the least fun to draw, just because he is so stiff. Like you said, you can put him in like a really kind of imposing position and look badass, but he won't. It's not as fun as making Raph just like full of rage, or Donnie with all this cool tech.
Now, the first cover that you did for Turtles was issue number 55, I want to say.
Yeah, 55.
Now, what was that like to know that, hey, I'm a part of the Turtles universe now. I get to draw a cover. And what was that call like, or what was that day like?
Yeah, it was huge. And it was more than just like a day. I wish it was that, hey, go ahead and do it. We need it tomorrow, man. Congratulations. But it's like, I spent 2 years kind of pestering IDW trying to get a cover. Like, you would see me at conventions and I would have, you know, my big print wall like anyone else, but it was all turtle covers, but they were all fake. Like, they were all ones I'd done like to try and convince them I could do covers. Like, I had, you know, one where they're in a subway, one with Shredder, one with Splinter. Like, I tried to run the gamut of like all the examples I could give. And finally another artist was like, "Oh, you're doing Turtles now, huh?" And I was like, "No, these are all fake." And he's like, "That's bullshit." He's like, "We got to get you on Turtles." And so he put in an email to the same people I was already talking to, but I guess with his recommendation, they said, "All right, let's do it." And so that was a big day. That was like the first big day where they said, "All right, you're in. Like, do some roughs for us. Do like a handful of ideas, and then we'll pick one." So I did like 7 different cover roughs, and then they ended up picking the one that is 55. They're jumping out of the sewer, and Leo's throwing the manhole cover, like in the old video stuff. And then I waited 2 freaking years, man. Another 2 years, I think, before they actually. And so I thought they were just like, they paid me and they were just like shutting me up. And I didn't think they would ever use it. And so finally, when they used it, obviously that was another big day. So there was like a few like big days where I was like, oh my God, it's really happening. And then there was like huge stretches of time where I thought it wasn't happening. And so you get kind of cautious about like getting too excited or bragging about it or revealing the cover, because you're like, man, I don't want to say I'm doing this and then have it never happen. And so, but it was really cool. I kept the check. I kept that original, and I put it all in like this shadow box frame now. And yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I've got pictures of me as a child in like Ninja Turtle sleeping bags and on Christmas morning and stuff. And I've got pictures of me like with the big, you know, guys in suits at like Chuck E. Cheese and stuff. So it was definitely like a momentous thing. And I don't necessarily take it for granted, but I don't think about it as much as I probably should, that now I get more texts from the guy who co-created Ninja Turtles than I do either of my parents. And like,
that's
so
fucking
I talk to that
sick.
It's just wild. Like, and I'm really happy about that. Like, I'm glad. It's really cool to call him a friend, and we're going to do Drawing Blood forever. And I hope we do other titles together as well. And it's just been an awesome few years. All that, like I said, came together around all the Drawing Blood stuff anyway. And, you know, connecting with Kevin it's only been like 3.5, maybe 4 years. So it's sweet.
That's dope, man. Now, the new turtle, Jenica, do you get news before anybody else does? Like, do you get like the inside scoop? Like, hey, we're going to add a turtle like next month.
Yeah, I did. I knew about it.
Oh, so you knew.
I knew. And I didn't know as early as I would have liked. Like, I wish I could say I knew like a year ago or something. It was kind of like, I think I knew like 3 issues before it happened, so maybe 3 months before it happened. And I knew that it was going to be the human character Jenica, because the first time I actually met the writer Tom Waltz, he's written every single issue. He's written, like, they're almost at 100. Like, he's written the most Turtle issues ever. I think 75 was the record for the longest running Turtle series, and he's passed it. And so the first time I met him, we were on a panel in North Carolina, a show, and and they were like, what character would you like to see or something? And I went off about how I was like, I can make Venus cool. Like, I was like, I can do a cool female turtle. I can, I can sell the fans based on the design, and with Tom's writing, I know we can do it. And he was kind of like biting his cheek because he already had these plans in motion, but he couldn't say anything about, Jenica. And so like, I just think back to that and I'm like, you bastard, you should go. But yeah, I wasn't a part of any of her design really. The most I can say is like, I might have a hand in, the longevity of her design possibly. And the only reason I say that is because I got to do I think I did the second cover she was featured on, and so I did a cover for 97, which is technically the first time she gets the yellow bandana. I think it just came out, but I was drawing that cover before 95 even came out. And so what was happening was I was talking to the artists who were writing or who were working on those issues. Dave Watcher was doing issue 95, and then Michael Dilanellis, this guy from Greece, did 96 and 97 and maybe 98, I'm not sure. And so they were sending me images and stuff because I was like, well, what's she wearing? And what is, in the original design, she had 3 toes, and Michael was like, no, she's only going to have 2. So what I mean by I might have a say, like some of my choices might be lasting, I'm hoping anyway, is because I got to make choices on those covers that, weren't finalized yet. Like I was like, well, she's got a bow and arrow and she's got all these arrows on her back. I was like, I'll make all the arrow feathers yellow, and I'll make the hilt of her sword yellow. And and so just little things like that, now all these people who are doing covers or the next person who gets on interiors, they're going to Google, Jenica. And the images they'll find will be some of mine. So I'm hoping like some of those little things I chose will be like, oh, well, that's how it is. And they'll draw it the way I did it. And then that will just like live on. You never know. But that's something that's really exciting about the Turtles. It's like you literally when I did the 55 cover, I had to check and see, where are the Turtles at right now? Cause I thought I was up to date, but you don't know everything,
Right.
And so all of us artists literally just Google, and we're like, all right, where are they at? What does she look like again? And yeah. So, and I think the cover I got to do the second print cover for 95, which is the issue she actually turns into a turtle. And the way that came about was really cool because they did 95, but no one knew that was going to happen. So it sold out like crazy as soon as people found out.
Shit, I got it.
And yeah, which means it wasn't ordered. It wasn't ordered like crazy because no one knew that. So now those issues, that first printing, were like really expensive on eBay and whatnot. And so it was one morning, I'm on the East Coast, Kevin and IDW are on the West Coast, and I got a text from Kevin at like 7 a.m. over here, which means it was 3 hours earlier there. And he's like, hey man, he's like, he's like, they're going to do a second printing for Turtles 95 because it sold so well. And he's like, and they won't let me do it because I already owe them a lot of work. And he goes, but I did do this rough. And if you look up Kevin Eastman, TMNT 95, might be able to find it. But he did this rough of Jenica waking up in the back of the van and looking at her hands and, realizing she's turned into a mutant now. And he's like, if you want to riff on this rough, I bet we can convince IDW to let you do the cover based on my rough. And I was like, okay. And he goes, but the thing is, you've only got like 3 hours before they get into the offices here on the West Coast. And so I did all the lines, like just hoping that they would be into it. And so I spent the next 3 hours just like busting out this cover. And then the first thing that happened was they were like, oh, looks great, but no, we can't afford another artist. And I was like, oh man. So I spent the whole day just like, sulking that I'd wasted my time and more so just wishing it had came out. I told them like, hey, you don't even have to pay me. And they were like, no, we have to pay you legally. And I was like, all right, well, pay me just like $5 or something. And they are like, well, we'll let you know, and it wasn't until like 6 p.m. that night. So it was really only 3 for them. And they said, hey, actually, yeah, let's do it. We need it tomorrow though. And so then I like lost my whole work day. And so then I woke up really early the next day to do the exact same thing and get the rest of it done in 3 hours. And then that was printed, and that was that's the issue 95 second print cover, which is like one of my favorite things I've ever drawn. One of my favorite things I've ever colored, honestly, where she's waking up in the van and Leo and Donnie are kind of like backing off slowly because they don't know how she's going to handle, having just transformed. And what was so special to me about that cover is obviously the story of how it all came together is really cool, and it's a pivotal issue. But I think it's my first cover where I'm the main cover. So every shop gets that cover. It's not an incentive that you need to buy 10 of the regular one. It's not a store exclusive. And so I'm seeing pictures from like all over the world of people picking up that issue, and that is really cool to me.
That's crazy, man. Now, I know that, doing the stuff for IDW and drawing blood and etc., that pays the bills, right? But what do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy drawing your own creations, will come out your own head, be it like the Aggregate or Nathan the Caveman or whatever? Or do you enjoy more of your childhood dream of being to work on Ninja Turtles and working with Kevin Eastman doing drawing blood? Like, what gives you more of a satisfaction?
I don't know, man. It's a tough question because they give me different levels of satisfaction in different ways for sure. Like obviously the childhood dream of working on those characters is like huge, and you're excited the entire time you're doing it. But just like anything on Earth, it turns into a job, right? So you're like stressed out, or oh, this is due, I only have 3 hours to do this. Blah, 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 or, oh, I have to wait and see if they like it, and they might have notes. And so for that same, the other side of the spectrum on my own stuff, I don't have to worry about anyone having notes. I can draw anything I want. But like with the Aggregate, the whole point of the Aggregate is it's like, I think I meant to say it earlier when you asked me about, how it all came about, but I did Nathan the Caveman, and then I did that book Lost Trail, and then because they got pretty popular and things started rolling for me, and I started getting a lot of commissions where I would be, drawing Ninja Turtles or drawing Spider-Man, drawing all these characters I wanted to, but it was all just for like money and just, to pay the bills. And so it was really unfulfilling for me. It was almost like I was working for people again, except now I'm working for like hundreds of people that I owe commissions to. And so I said, I want to do a book that I just get to do anything I want, and it's only going to be stuff that I think is fun to draw, like giant robots, post-apocalyptic landscapes, spider cats that people ride, like crazy worm creatures that live under the ground, and this guy can build stuff with scrap metal, so you literally build like robot arms or giant swords, or like it was just the most fun conceptually. I call it like my vacation book. So whereas on the other side, drawing blood is like the most difficult thing I have ever had to draw, because it's guys in suits and they're driving in cars and they've got all these kinds of guns, and they're real guns, and you can look up references of guns. It takes place in real cities. There's a lot of emotion in the book, which I'm good at. I'm good at the emotion, but there's a lot of characters in the book. There's interior theater scenes, which means you're drawing like 2,000 seats of a theater, but they're like all in perspective, and not only in perspective, but most theaters, the seats like kind of wrap around like in a circle kind of thing. So it's like this weird arc, but also, so it's like the hardest thing I've ever drawn. But if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be growing, and I wouldn't be getting better. And now I'm going to bring all that back over to the Aggregate when I get onto book 2, which I'm drawing right now. And so I like both, but I don't think I can clearly say which one's better. I mean, they both have which one I like better, rather. They both have crazy amounts of stress attached to them, but with something like the Aggregate, I really have to be my own boss and get mad at myself the same way that, like Kevin would get mad at me if I just didn't do anything for a week, So it's tough to say. I don't think I would be fulfilled if it were only one or the other. I love the bounce. I love bouncing back and forth.
Okay. Now, did your wife know what she was getting into when she got with an artist?
No. So that was like a huge, like with every relationship I had ever been in, that was like the big thing. It was like, do they understand that, like, especially because I'm my own boss, that I'm going to need to just like, if you have the day off, that doesn't mean I can just stay home and hang out. I still have to leave. As much as I want to just sit home and watch Netflix or something, or go to the beach, like I have to go get work done. I'm my own boss. If I did that all the time, nothing would ever get done. And then you wouldn't like me anyway, because I'd be broke and I couldn't buy things. I couldn't eat food. I couldn't go out to eat and stuff. And so like my whole life, every relationship, it was like one of those things, and it was always a fight until you get past a certain point. And And like with my wife, Jill, I thought it was going to be a thing. And it really, I think that's why we're married, is like, because it didn't become one. I think it was kind of like stewing in her a little bit, like, but she soon realized like all the things I just said, like, well, if he doesn't go, or if he had a different job, would I even like him? Like if he just, had some soul sucking job he didn't love or he didn't enjoy, and then he would be grumpy all the time, and then he would take that out on me. Like, and so I think she got it, and she definitely gets it now. I mean, she's not psyched about it. She had the day off today, but I came into the studio all day on this holiday and just have worked. And so what has helped though is like, now that, I mean, I'm definitely not rich. I have like 2 pairs of jeans and a really dirty car. but now that I'm doing better, and it's stable, like because of the Drawing Blood Kickstarter and because I also did a Kickstarter for Aggregate Book 2, I have like my next 2 years of work like locked down. The money is there, and I'll get paid as the pages get done. I don't have to seek anything out. So now that I have a little bit more of that comfortability, it's allowed me to take specific days off. So it's not really, and that's been really helpful to me. So it's not really like, hey, I happen to have the day off, Ben, do you want to go to the beach? It's like, Jill knows, like, oh, Sundays we'll do that, or sometimes Saturday, so it's been Sunday. Sunday is my day off every single week for about a year and a half now, which has been nice to have that routine. And every now and then I'll do Saturday but I'll have to, if she has something she wants to do on Saturday, she's got to tell me before Saturday morning.
Right.
But I never, ever would have thought, like back in my days when I was doing Nathan the Caveman for 16 hours a day and living off toast and coffee, I never would have thought there was ever going to be a world where I could potentially take 2 days off a week, because that's 2 pages. I think about days as like pages, and you're just like, man, I'm so behind. Now I have to do 3 pages on Monday instead of just my 1, and it's like, so it's been nice to kind of regulate that, separate the work from home a bit.
Got you. Now, How long does it take to finish a book, like on average?
It's a long time. Like I said, Jack Kirby actually said, I think, at least I've been saying he said for years and years, if you can do a page a day, you can like make it in comics. So you got to think about that. Like a regular comic book is 22 pages. So that's a whole month. That's not counting like the day you get sick or someone in your family dies and you absolutely need to go to the funeral. And and so it's 22 pages per comic. And, some days things just come up. You do get sick or your car breaks down or whatever. So if you can get to more than that, then you're when I was doing the Raphael story with Kevin, I was doing 2 pages a day because we just needed to with the deadline, because we got a late start because we were finishing up Drawing Blood. But there was no way I was going to drop the ball on this Raphael story, my first shot at interiors for a turtle book, And so what I did was I would wake up at 4 a.m. I would come into the studio, which is like 6 minutes from my house, and I would draw that first page. And I've always been a morning guy. Like I said, I used to wake up early for Saturday morning cartoons and cereal and stuff. And so as soon as I'm up, and I have the most energy right when I wake up. And then that just goes down throughout the day. So I would wake up at 4, I would do that first page, and somehow I would get that first page done in like 4 hours. And so then I would take a nap for like 2 hours, wake back up, and do another page, because I tricked myself into thinking it was a new day by doing it that way. So I was able to squeeze like 2 work days into one, which meant 2 pages. But that second page would take me all the way till like 10 p.m. Because of the energy level, and you just get slower and slower. But that first one I could jam out in like 4 hours, and then the second one would take me almost like 8. So that was crazy rapid pace. But I like to do a page a day. So yeah, they take a long time. I mean, the aggregate took me, it's a 160 pages of comic, but it's a 200-page book, I believe. That took me like 2.5 years, and that included writing it too. So I did the Kickstarter for book 2, and I put that as my estimated deadline. I said, look, I've been here before. I did this exact same size book before. And so my deadline on that book that I estimated was March 2021. And people were like, is that a typo? And I'm like, no, that's real life. Shit takes forever.
Yeah,
So,
man. That's
best case scenario, I'll get it done early, but
that shit just sounds crazy. Now, so it would take you, I guess, on average, like maybe 2.5 years or 2 years to do a book. Now, at any point in time, is there a point where you feel like this isn't worth it? I'm gonna give up. This ain't worth it. Like, when do those days come about? Is it like maybe like the third day, or is it just like I have to push through it? Like, what's the motivation to get through everything?
It's always just because you have to. I mean, you got to be self-driven, right? Like, so you have those days where you're just like, it could be a number of things. Like, you could just be sucking at drawing and just be like, man, I'm churning out shit. I should just quit and watch a movie or something, or play video games, or literally do anything else. But with me, I've realized, like, I'm going to feel like total crap if I do that. I'm going to be so hard on myself, like, mentally, and I'm just going to be grumpy, and I'm just like, I don't want to get like that. And so I'll power through it. And as long as I can get to the end of that day and, like, have tried, usually, you know, figure it out and start drawing, like, well again. And then I'll be so glad that I did that, because mentally I'm like, oh man, I almost quit. And, like, now when I can get that page done and, like, shut the lights off and go home and, like, start drinking beer, I'm like, I'm earning it, killed it. But I would not feel that way if I didn't tackle it, you know? So that's a big motivation to do it. But also, like, if I don't do it, that's just work that's got to get done another day. And I already have like 200 pages ahead of me. So why like overload myself and put it all on the back end? And so I think about that a lot. And it's like, there's nothing else I could be doing. Like, I used to work at, like, coffee shops and lobster shacks and stuff. And I can't deal with those schedules. If I have one thing to do, as you've seen trying to book this podcast, like, it's just like, oh crap, I put it on the wrong day, or oh man, I totally forgot, or I have to set 3 alarms, and with the coffee shop, it used to be like, even if I had a shift at like 5 p.m. or something, I wouldn't get anything done all day of value because I was, like, stressed out about that one thing I had to do later. And so I know also it's like, yeah, I enjoy doing this. It's all I've ever wanted to do. I got to remind myself of that. But it's also like, what the hell else would I do?
Right.
Like, the only way I could ever see myself, like, completely just stopping and being okay with it, I would need to be, you know, money-wise in a place where I didn't have to worry about it, and I wasn't drawing, you know, to pay the bills. I was just drawing when I felt like it, which is where I want to get one day. I want to just draw weird stuff that, like, I don't need to be drawing, but I'm drawing just because
it was on your mind that day.
Yeah, and that's kind of how the aggregate is. Like, honestly, that's how I wrote it. And when I'm drawing that book, I have the freedom to go, oh, I'm just going to add a scene here. And especially because it's a split decision comic, I can say, okay, well, what happens if he dies? You know, like, what happens if he dies right now, our main character? And like, that can be part of my story because it's just one of the splits. And so it leaves it open to keep it fresh for me while I'm working on it. That's why I kind of call it, like, my vacation book, because it's like, it unwinds my brain a bit, and it's fun for the reader too, because they can do the same thing. Like, there's not really any risk to their choices. They're like, well, I could take this one and, you know, fall off a cliff and get impaled by a giant spike, but then I can just cheat and go back and try it the other way.
Right.
So
okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's the kind of self-driven stuff I'm talking about, whereas, like, some people might be able to learn that by going to school and getting those assignments and stuff like that. So luckily it's something that, like, I've always had to do, because when I got, you know, booted from school because I was too broke, I was like, well, I can either continue doing coffee shops forever, or I can finish my freaking book and hope that it leads to something.
Okay. Now, I know a few artists, and when it kind of varies. When they're done with a project, it's either it's a celebration, or it's, you know, that's done and it's on to the next. What is it for you? Is it like, okay, I'm done with this, celebrate, beer, have fun with the wife, woo, everything's cool? Or is it like, all right, this is done, on to the next, that one's done, I gotta keep going?
Yeah, well, I always have something at least recently, I've always had something right after it that I need to do. Like even this Kickstarter ending, I would have loved to just take like 2 weeks and do nothing.
Nothing.
Just be like, oh man, I gotta relax. Like I'm so exhausted. But and then with Drawing Blood, we finished Drawing Blood 1, and I jumped right onto Wrath. But I do give myself like a little bit of a celebration. The way I work, I have videos of this like on my Instagram too. Is every time I finish a page, I'll print out a copy of it like on just regular computer paper, and I put it up on my wall in the studio. And so like at the end of the book, especially with Aggregate, there's 260 pages on my wall, and you can read the whole book, like just standing in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that has many benefits. Like while I'm working on the book, I can visually see that I'm not just treading water and I'm actually finishing stuff. Also, while I'm working on the book, I can look up and check, what are they wearing, or what do they look like, or when was the last time I saw this character? But one of the biggest benefits is when I finish the book, I rip all that shit down, and I just crank it up, and there's just this huge pile of like paper that's all crumpled up, like huge, like a leaf pile when you're a kid, and that is that's so much satisfaction for me, because then it's like clean slate, and it makes me excited about the next project that I'm already kind of dreading. I'm like, oh, I get to do this all over again now. But it's like a nice reward at the end of it. And I have videos of me doing it. I think with Drawing Blood 1, I did a time lapse and I ripped it all down and like chugged a beer or something. But yeah, usually I definitely take a few days, no doubt. But there's always something else I got to be doing. With Drawing Blood 2 and Aggregate 2, I'm actually going to attempt to do both at the same time. So kind of split my weeks. A few pages on this book Monday through Wednesday or something, and then the other book the other day. So we'll see. I don't have enough walls for that though.
Now, do you have a bucket list of things that you want to draw, or like companies that you want to draw for, like a Marvel or a DC, or like, your own creations?
Yeah, definitely. Turtles was on it for sure.
Scratch that one off.
Yeah, scratch that off. But like the letter I wrote to Marvel when I was 11, it came with like I sent it off with 3, drawings of Spider-Man I had done. And so I really want to do Spider-Man for like the 11-year-old version of me. I'd love to do the Avengers. I'd love to do some giant team fight book, like the freaking end of Endgame, where there's 300 characters. Just because I think that would be epic. But what I'm most interested in with any of those characters and with any DC characters is like if I can get the opportunity to do it my way, like an original story, like that can be kind of an Elseworlds thing, like The Dark Knight, or like Batman Year One, where I get to tell, my version of a story with them, with these characters that already exist. And that means, possibly redesigning them or putting it in the future or whatever it is. I actually got to do a backup story, so 7 pages in Savage Dragon, which was another, character and book I grew up with. All the image stuff blew my mind as a kid, and I was obsessed with it. And so I got the opportunity, got connected with Eric Larson, and I did a backup for Savage Dragon, and he said, all right, what do you want to do? Like, I'll write it and you draw it. What do you want to draw? Like, I want to make sure this is fun for you, which was so awesome of him to ask. And I said, well, and I was thinking along the lines of like the Aggregate stuff and like, what's fun for me and what do I want to do? And so I said, well, I love to redesign stuff. So I'd love to redesign Savage Dragon. I'd love to make him evil. And I want to give him like a big white beard. So I did. He has like an eye patch and a big white beard. And he's got like this weird disease where like his flesh is kind of like rotting, because he has a healing power. That's one of his things that I didn't realize. And so I just have it because he's so old, and in the future, like it's not healing as fast anymore. So he's kind of messed up. And then I said I'd love to do it in the future. I don't mind drawing cities, but I'd love to make up my own city. So it's more of like a Mobius kind of city where they look almost like stone pillars and stuff, flying blimps and things like that. And then I said, and what would be really cool, and I said, I got this character I created when I was 11 years old called Switchblade.
Oh my God. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah. I was like, his hands can turn into anything, like a windmill, a club, a knife, a axe, whatever. And I was like, because he came from a superhero team I created called Splash, which was just like soaking with 90s bullshit, like pouches and, you know, powers and so I was like, these guys were inspired by all the nutty crap that you guys were doing in the 90s at Image. And so he wrote Switchblade into the Savage Dragon story. He gave me a created by credit, and he even mentioned Splash. He said that my evil Savage Dragon killed all of Splash, and Switchblade was like the only remaining character. So that's like exactly what I want to do with all the characters on my bucket list. Is like do it like in a new way, where it's, you know, more personal and just fun.
Right. Now, I met you at a convention in Connecticut, I think last year around this time, maybe like July, August.
The casino one?
Yes.
Was it? Yeah, Foxwoods, yeah.
And I got a copy of Switchblade, and you signed a copy of another Ninja Turtles comic for me. Now, is Switchblade coming back at all? Because I really enjoyed the comic I got.
Yeah, man. That's like what I want to finish Drawing Blood and Aggregate so that I can do what I'm about to tell you. I've never gone on record, so I probably should. But I want to pitch Eric Larson more of that. I want to do a mini-series, and I want it to have its own title. I want it to be Splash, my comic Splash as a kid. But I want to do 3 issues before that backup, so before the big fight, and then 3 issues after. And that's what I want to do. But because I've got so much going on, like, it would be stupid of me to even start getting excited about it or even mention it to Eric. Like, so you're the first person I've really mentioned it to. But man, that would be so much fun. Because I would love to see, because again, Savage Dragon mentions killing all his teammates in Splash. And so those first 3 issues will be all about that. And then after the big fight, where, spoiler alert, Switchblade throws Savage Dragon into like this raging inferno and he explodes. Like, what happened and what does Switchblade do? It's like the craziest thing he's ever done. And now there's no more Savage Dragon, or is there? So
dun, dun,
I think it'd be really fun, and it'd be another way for me to get some Image Comics credit.
Right. Now,
but I've definitely got too much work to even think about it.
Right. Now, what does Ben do on his downtime? Like, what do you do when you're not drawing, when you take that 2 days off a week? Like, what do you do? Like, do you... Because I know as artists, you know, or as a creative, you stop working because you force yourself to, but your mind doesn't really stop creating, or you can't really turn off the switch. It's really hard to turn off the switch.
Yeah, I'm always working, and freaking cell phones, man, they don't allow me to stop working. Like, if I get questions about, you know, an order someone placed on my website, or, you know, where is it, when are you going to ship that, or commissions that I'm past due on, or something like that. It can really interfere with the day off, obviously. But I used to sea kayak with my wife. We have these like 15-foot long kayaks that we each have one, and we haven't gone for like 2 years now, which is super sad. I cleaned them out the other day, like hosed them off, power washed them, and then we still didn't go. They're brutally heavy, and so whenever I go, it's like almost like 2 days off, because then the next day I'm just exhausted and wiped out. And one time I got like so exhausted I just got sick, and so I'm like scared to do anything active.
Right.
And so, because I'm like, oh man, what if that messes with the rest of my week? Then I'll really be behind. So we haven't done that. Honestly, I like to just do nothing as much as possible on those days off. Like, it sounds bad, but like to just not move, to turn my brain off. We'll grill. I grill a lot. We got dogs, so sometimes we'll go to the dog park. Make a fire. What else? I usually turn off earlier these days too. Like I used to suck every single second out of the day making comics, and then do it all again the next day, every single day. But like, more honestly, I kind of power down earlier now, so I kind of stop working earlier now. Like, I'll stop around 6:30 sometimes, and you know, that's when I switch to beer, and I just kind of let myself get tired and fall asleep, and then do the whole thing again the next day.
Right.
So it's really just kind of hanging out, catching up on stuff. I watch a lot of like seasons of shows and movies, and because it's like one of the only ways to like keep me, you know, thinking of story ideas and, you know, getting inspired by stuff. That and music, obviously. And so yeah, but man, we haven't done anything like like on the par with kayaking in a while. I travel too much because of all these shows, so I'm constantly in and out. So when I do take a day off, we kind of just do nothing. We go out to eat. We do oysters a lot because we got really good food here in Portland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love your approach to social media where you just post everything that you're doing, whether it be a drawing, you get out with the wife, what convention you're at. I love your approach to that.
Thanks. I've thought really hard about that because in the early days, of me on Instagram and stuff, I see a lot of artists as just art, but they won't post anything for like 4 or 5 days in between work. And I don't know. I just decided to do it. And what I heard then was, like, oh, you gotta be careful of what you let people see.
Exactly.
Like, I'm never gonna post my address or my phone number or something. I mean, maybe I have. I didn't mean to, but I'm not gonna. Like, the thing I like about the people I follow and like, getting to know Kevin Eastman and stuff. Like, I like to know that they're real people, and I like to see like what we have in common. And like, I might get followers because they think my dogs are cute or they like the same whiskey I like or something. Right. And so I just try and be super, super real with it. I won't post anything negative. Like, as far as like, putting out an image, I guess that's as far as I go to do that. There's no point in posting something like I'm upset about, or, I'm not going to post a bad drawing because I want everyone to.
Right.
So there is, there's always a kind of allusion to everyone's social media accounts, but I like to show, the dogs and grilling and, I did a campfire last night, or, oh, I'm at this concert, and all my favorite artists, they do that too. So yeah, I like that.
Good. That's dope, man. Now, I don't want to keep you much longer because I know you probably got some things to do. So I wanted to know if you can leave the people with this. Like, what advice would you give to an upcoming artist, an aspiring artist, or a comic artist? Like, what can you say, or what advice can you give them to keep them inspired or to inspire them?
Yeah, I think there's a few things that still ring true that I kind of repeat. I do a lot of schools, actually. Like, I go to, because of that Lost Trail book I did, I go to a lot of elementary schools, middle schools. I've even gone to like universities and taught professors how to teach comics, because now comics are like in the mainstream, and so I tend to get that question a lot and have specific points of advice, and so I'll lead with just the stuff that I think still works, and that's number one is just make comics. Like I said about Nathan the Caveman, it's like, if you don't make it, then it doesn't exist, and if it doesn't exist, that's not doing you any favors. You know what I mean? As soon as it's out there and done, it will lead to something else, whether it's like, oh, I did this 300-page book and now I'm drawing beer labels or something, or now I did a poster for a local band. Like, it's going to lead to something. People will see it, and they're not just going to go, neat. Like, they're going to go, oh man, can you draw my aunt as Wonder Woman? Like, it's going to lead to something.
Right.
And so just make comics, and replace comics with whatever it is. Just make video games, just write comics, just whatever it is, just do it. I think that's why Nike chose that, because it's real. But so there's that one. The other one that I tell people, like, because a lot of like parents will ask me, like, with their kids standing right there, oh, he really loves to draw, or she really loves to draw, like, any advice? And I'll say, well, first I'll say, like, well, how often do you do it? Because it literally is about hours. It's hours of the day. Like you could draw hands for 16 hours, and I guarantee you'll be better at drawing hands by the next day. Like if hands are hard, draw the shit out of hands until they're not hard. If dogs are hard, draw dogs, cars, whatever it is, buildings, perspective. Like, everyone struggles with the same stuff. The only difference is, like, the people who have tackled it have been doing it longer, and maybe they're not older than you, but they're putting in more hours every day. And so, like, practice is real, and you have to tie yourself to that desk, even though it's more fun to, literally do nothing and watch Netflix or go see kayaking or do whatever. Like, you need to put in those hours. And then the third thing that's more specific to comics is it's a balance of being good. And, I'm obviously still figuring out, like, when I get a script that says, draw this particular kind of gun, and they're on this particular building, like, I still struggle with that stuff, but I beat the hell out of it until I get the drawing where I need it to be. So I'm not acting like I can draw anything, but it's a balance of being good and speed. Like, comics are very very much about how fast you can draw, but it needs to be both. It needs to be fast and it needs to be good. If they need you on that deadline, like I said, like 22 pages a month, essentially, for a monthly comic. Luckily, there are a few issues ahead usually, but like those are supposed to come out every single month. So you can get like a 3-month lead, and you better not waste it. Like, get those 3 issues done so that when you're drawing issue 4, issue 1 just came out. So it's like speed and skill at the same time. And if you find that you're like super duper fast, but your art is starting to suck, then you're going too fast, and you need to figure that out, or vice versa too. So that one's more comic specific, but really anything boils down to just like, if you're a writer, just write. If you play sports, play sports. Like, you just have to do it, or no one will know that you do it.
Right. That's great advice, man. Well, Ben, I'm really happy we had this conversation. I've been trying to get you on this podcast for a little while now, but I'm really glad we had this conversation, man.
Yeah, we'll do it again. It's too bad it didn't happen during the Kickstarter. I bet a bunch of your followers and listeners would have dug that, but they can check it out still at drawingbloodcomic.com. And eventually you'll be able to, order those comics. Book 1 is still coming, or it all came out to stores, issues 1 through 4, so you can go find those and catch up if you want. The aggregate is on my website, theaggregatebook.com, or bishart.net. But yeah, I'm sorry about the scheduling mishaps, but this was awesome, and we could do it again. You had really great questions, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm a big fan. I kind of regret that I didn't have the chance to take a picture with you at the convention, but I hope I'll see you again sometime. But
yeah, I'll be back. I like that Foxwood show. I mean, it was cool because you were in the same place for 4 days, but it was also like not cool because you were
4
in the same
days.
place.
God damn.
Yeah, because it's like you get there Thursday night to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and so you're like breathing the same like smoky cigarette air for 4 days, and you haven't sunlight. But it's a weird experience, and then all the money you make, you just spend at the actual location.
Yeah, gambling bear, Yeah, got you. All right, Ben. So where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, my the big one is Instagram. Like you said, I think I do well on there, and it's just at Bishart. So BISHART. And that's the same for Twitter too. If you want to follow me on there, I don't post as well over there because that's more like writing than it is photos. But I do both, especially when I've got something to promote. I'll be posting a lot on either. And then I'm on Facebook too. If anyone wants to just add me as a friend, I'm not at that point yet where I'll turn people away.
Right.
Because I post a lot on there too, and I want people to know, if I've got something coming out, or if they can order something, or what shows I'm going to be at. So I hate when, I do something, or like the Kickstarter, for example, we run a Kickstarter for 30 days, and then the moment it's over, someone's like, I didn't even know about this. I'm like, how's that possible? I was posting about this every single day. Yeah. So yeah, check it out, man. Got the Aggregate Book 2 coming in a year or so, and the same with
a year or
drawing.
so.
Yeah, maybe longer. I'm going to go as fast as I can.
Okay. Well, don't rush it too much, man. I want it to be perfection. All right.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I can't let the speed overpower the skill. It's got to be an even keel. But I mean, book 1 is done, and that one's available on my website, bishart.net. So BISHART.net, and you can get book 1. And then you can read it like 100 times, which will probably take you as long as it takes me to draw it. Or draw book 2 rather. So you got your work cut out for you too.
Definitely, man. I'm glad you spelled that because a lot of our listeners are stupid. So, Ben, I appreciate you for chopping it up with me, man. Like I said, I'm a big fan. Following your work for a while, man. I can't wait to see more and, continue success, man.
Thanks so much. Yeah, we'll keep in touch, and I'll let you know next time I'm in Connecticut, or I'll see you at New York Comic-Con if you can make it there.
I might have to go by myself because my co-hosts are dickheads and they don't want to go. They're like, oh, I don't have the money. Like, man, you better scrounge up the money and let's go. But I might be there by myself, solo. But, if I run into you,
Yeah, I'll be up in the small press area under Split Decision Comics.
Okay, cool. I'll definitely be on the lookout for you, man. So, all right, man. Ben, I appreciate this, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Take care.
You too, man.
All right, bye.
And that was my interview with Ben Bishop. Shout out to Ben. A lot of cool shit in the works. Shout out to Kevin Eastman. I want you on my show, my nigga. Just come on, fuck with me. Help me cross off this bucket list. You, T-Pain, Will Smith, John Leguizamo. Help me help whoever. I'm sorry. So, picks. What we got for picks, man?
My pick is going on by Good Boys.
It was good?
I watched. Yeah, that shit was actually really fucking funny.
No,
I enjoyed it.
I saw it had like a 7 point something at the theater. I wanted to go watch it, but I was like kind of unsure because I ain't hear nobody talking about it, so I was kind of I was unsure about it.
If it's not like a fucking blockbuster movie, people don't really be talking like a lot of shit. But I enjoyed it. Like it was really fun. I laughed a lot.
Yeah,
it was way funnier than I thought it was gonna be. It's a bunch of like 6th graders. They're like weird, funny like sex jokes, like because they're young, so they don't quite understand all the shit that's going on.
It's kind of like super bad, but like they're younger.
Yeah, they're a little bit younger. Yeah. So it's like shit like, oh, my parents have a CPR doll, and then you go see the doll, it's a fucking real sex doll, like fucking. but they're dumb. They don't know. Oh, my parents got a swing in their room, and it's this fucking sex swing.
Sex swing.
Oh, my parents got all these weapons, it's fucking dildos and anal beads and shit. This nigga gave
nunchucks.
This nigga made a fucking necklace for, or he made a necklace for his girl.
Chucker, right?
That's fucking anal beads because he don't know. He thinks it's like a necklace. Oh, shit is dumb like that. Shit's pretty funny. I was like, oh, this is funny. Yeah, I was like, this is funny.
A fellow chucker, eh?
Yeah. So, I enjoyed it. That shit was pretty funny.
I had to go and watch that shit.
Yeah, that shit's pretty funny. I like
that
it.
nigga said, keep practicing. I love that fucking movie. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Bobby, what's your pick, man?
A black lady sketch show.
Is this actually funny?
It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel like there's some sketches where they try a little too hard. But they got mad black women that just random in here, like Angela Bassett's to like
the bad bitch support group.
Yeah, that's a funny part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I gotta watch that shit.
It's on HBO.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I started watching Euphoria. Now that y'all say that shit, I didn't get. I was watching it as I was going to sleep. I don't know why. But,
that's a wild show to fall asleep to.
It fall asleep too, but it's pretty good. Yeah. First episode kind of got me where I was like, yo, this shit is wow.
Yeah, a little different.
Zendaya the future, man. She's pretty good.
Yeah, no, she's a good actor.
Like she has range, which I like. Like she can, she's always like, I don't want to compare to Issa Rae. Like she's like the awkward black girl kind of thing.
A little bit.
Like she can play like the goth role, she can play like the druggy role, but she can also play like the fun loving spry and having fun type of shit.
Yeah. And she getting her bag on the show too. She getting her bag the way the character is, there's like range. There's she's like moving through emotions because she's doing a lot of shit.
First episode was pretty good, man. I didn't get through all of it. I probably got like 20 minutes, 25 minutes to go.
Yeah, no.
But my pick is Gears of War 5.
Oh, he's playing it?
Yeah, I didn't buy it. Should I go buy it now? Probably. I don't want to waste more money. Should I?
I mean, you didn't buy 2K, so I guess you could buy GERS.
GERS. I'm about to go buy both.
I got to buy Xbox. I need to buy. My Xbox is dead.
Damn. I gotta hurt.
Yeah, my soul is sad. My soul is sad, but
what you been doing? PlayStation?
Yeah.
Do you have any games with PlayStation?
I do, but I don't play video games anymore anyway.
Really?
I just go home and listen to music and sit in my room or play Netflix.
Who am I?
Just be sad?
Yeah. I'm sad.
Just existing. I don't necessarily have to be sad. I would, yes.
I feel like you listen to shit with like all your lights off.
Yep.
Snuggling like in like a big blanket.
Just curl up in the fetal position.
Suicide.
I enjoy Triple X a lot. I would not lie. Jocelyn Flores is.
So when we going? October. Wait, what'd you say?
Jocelyn Flores.
Oh, Jocelyn Flores. I thought you said Jostle something.
No. Jocelyn Flores is the name of a song.
Jocelyn Flores, yes. That's a pretty good beat.
Yeah, that's good.
So when we going to Howard? Howard?
Where we going? Where them niggas at?
October 11th. So my boy does this thing, right, where he leaves like Friday morning, like at 3. Wait. No. We leave Thursday at 9. Get there, get a hotel, wake up, then go to the hotel. I don't know why he does that shit.
So you want to get there for the nasty start.
It's Howard home. It's not Freaknik, my nigga.
I don't know.
Fuck is your problem?
I don't know. what it is.
You never heard of Howard Homecoming?
I've heard of things. I heard of Joy, but that doesn't mean I know what it is.
Joy.
I heard of Joy. What is going on? You're going.
I heard of Joy.
You're going. You hear me, right?
Joy.
I'll think about it.
No, you're not thinking. You're going.
I might not be able to get the time off of work.
Quit. You're going.
I definitely can't afford to quit.
You're going.
I'll think about it. Damn, I got time.
You got the weekend. It's the weekend. Take off Friday.
Yeah, 2 days.
I'll think about it.
And then Saturday, Sunday, and we might not record.
If I can get the money, I'll do it.
You don't even need that much
I
money.
need like a hotel room.
You can sleep on the couch.
Okay.
You're going.
Think about it.
No, you're going.
I'm gonna think
You
about
gotta drag him
it.
out
Shut the
again.
fuck up. You're going. Say it with me.
I would discuss it with myself.
Say it with me.
Uh-huh.
You're going. Say I'm going.
You are going.
Say I'm going.
You are going.
Don't make me hit you. Say I'm going.
You are going.
Okay, so me, Bobby, and Hesh gonna be there. Three Ninjas at Howard Homecoming. Shout out to that. We'll be there. I don't want to hear. I'm going.
You are going.
I'm kicking your bad leg. Keep on
They
going.
both bad now. I'm getting old and fat, nigga. My knee was hurting the other day. I was like, y'all don't even do nothing. I sat down all day. Why?
Dude.
I was like, yeah, my knee hurt. I didn't do shit.
Oh fuck. Shout out to Jay Havoc, yo. I want to shout you out
My
real
back
quick.
hurt. I don't know why.
Your back.
My neck hurt. I slept funky. I don't know. It's all falling apart, nigga.
You ever try going to the gym? It relieves a lot of stress.
I've been to a gym before.
No, I'm not.
I mean, I've looked at one.
Yo, shout out to Jay Havoc, yo. Appreciate you. I'm somebody. That nigga sampled me on a song. I'm somebody now. Shout out to you, my nigga.
Word.
For putting me on a song or put me in the intro. But shout out to you. I fuck with you. Other than that, anything else? Anything else we forgetting? Not forgetting. You're going.
You are going.
Huh?
Yes.
Guess what?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what's wrong with me. I think I have like a weird like ADD / like Tourette's. It just be like word association shit.
So you want to walk? Me and Bobby swooshing.
I'm sorry. I just say shit.
Walk it is. Close the door behind you.
I want to fly.
You want to fly? So you going?
Oh, never mind. I walk.
All right. So Ninja Vanish. We out of here. Hit the gong and close the door on your way out.
Okay.
All right.
I'll turn off the lights. Like the chairs.
Yo!